Good evening, squad. It is swing time. You've learned that there are so many Pokemons I do not care for. That's fair. There's a lot of garbage mons. There's a lot of good mons, too. Hey, I'm here. We're playing 428 Shibuya Scramble today. It's been a while since we've played. Well, because, you know, I had to cancel a couple streams. They happened to be the ones I was playing this game on. Oh, that's a little loud. Alright. Let's see. We just finished... Oh. Right. I forgot about this. Kind of don't remember where we were or what we were doing, but yes, I remember the bathroom part now. Can't remember what resulted of this. We chose C. Didn't we get a... How do I bring up the timeline again? Yeah, there we are. We gotta keep out. Keep out there. Looks like Kano has more. It's to be continued. Lots of keep outs. Alright, I can't remember what we were doing, so... Let's go into here. Let's go into here? Let's go into here. Let's see if I can figure this out. I don't remember any of where we were and what we were doing. That makes that actually kind of hard. Let's see. Thinking back to the way Tatsuno had put his life on the line to rescue a bunch of strangers. Right. He was determined, right. Shoot, it's bleeding pretty bad, he heard someone say behind him. Kano is the undercover police officer whose possible father-in-law? I don't know, that's a weird relationship. Wow. Yeah, okay, that's a lot of bleeding. Hey, G-Dwarf, hey, Rock Pusher, hey, Void. He turned around and saw two young men. He turned and saw two young men carrying another along. There was a towel wrapped tightly around the third's head. Hey, what happened? Kano asked. I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know. I just came back into here and this is what was going on. Shut your mouth. Kano blanched. Can the attitude. He's trying to help, another voice cut in. Oh, I'm glad Kano's got a friend. It was Sasayama. Had he finished dealing with the girl by the station then? What happened to your friend? Out of my way, man. I ain't afraid to kick your ass. Look, cut the crap and let me take a quick look. Sasayama unwrapped the towel from around the young man's head. Oh, that's nasty. The young guy was a little more than a kid. His head was soaked red with blood. He appeared to be unconscious. Okay, so we could call juvenile affairs. They should probably take him to a hospital. Well, we're cops. I would assume we should maybe call juvenile affairs. He should go to a hospital. Let's take him to a hospital. They were in the middle of the job, but they couldn't just leave him like this. They should probably take him to a hospital. Kano offered to help carry the bloodied young man, but Sasayama stepped in front of him. He quickly flashed the two youths his badge. Oh crap, you a cop? Sasayama nodded. Who you kids with? The Bamfs? What's this button? Bamfs! Fun fact, Shibuya's #2 gang, its leader, Sohei Akari, has gathered up some big, mean dudes in an attempt to make Shibuya his turf. That gang's leadership is inferior to that of SOS, but on an individual level, its members tend to be stronger in a fight. Word is that the rise of the Bamfs is one of the reasons SOS has been growing more combative recently. SOS? SOS, admitted one of the young men after some hesitation. Who attacked you? Yo, it ain't like that. What was it like then? Infighting? Oh, this might have been from when we were fighting them with Achi, although I didn't think he'd done anything. I can't remember now. The young man was silent. Sasayama must have been right on the mark. In the course of his police duties, Kano picked up a fair amount of street gossip from the young people in Shibuya. Lately, the scuttlebutt about the legendary SOS gang was that they were dealing with some internal strife. Look, don't worry about it. I get it. There's a hospital just down that way. Hurry up and get him there. The young man headed off Sasayama's offered hand, then quickly hauled his friend away. Sounds like SOS is on the verge of breaking up with all this infighting, huh? Kano asked. He kept his eyes on the young men as they headed off. Yeah, seems like it might be pretty tough. You know, what? With the original leader the leader left. The detectives in juvenile affairs were well acquainted with SOS's original leader. Fun fact, original leader, that would be Achi Endo. Initially, SOS was nothing more than a small group of like-minded young people who hung out together, but as its membership grew, the general public began referring to the group as a gang. Word has it that back then, Achi was in charge. Gang members never started any conflicts themselves, but simply responded in kind when others brought fights their way. The stories were like something out of an after-school special. There were tales of them taking down gangs who sold drugs to kids, or breaking into Yakuza front offices to save their friends. Yeah, I feel like if they were definitely doing that second one, they'd all be dead. The detectives with juvenile affairs took these stories with a grain of salt, but if there really were young people like that out there, Kano hoped to meet them someday. Detectives had to hurry to catch up with the man they were tailing. He was still strolling along, seemingly in no particular hurry. They kept him in sight as he crossed another pedestrian overpass and circled back around. Still following the same MO, huh? Sasayama grumbled. Guess so, Kano said. How'd things go with the girl? This is just one of the plots of Durarara. They did do... What was that? What'd they call themselves? They didn't have a color. Right, the dollars. The ones without a color. It's the blue squares and the yellow triangles. Yellow scarves, I think. Yeah, dollars was what the online gang who didn't have the color called themselves. It's been a while since I watched Durarara. Let's see. He was careful not to take his eyes off the mark as they talked. I managed to calm her down and get her on the train. She was going on about how she wanted to go someplace far, far away, but whatever. It's all good now. I feel kind of bad about the whole thing, Kano said. Well, she's not pertinent to the case anyhow. Guess it's back to dogging this guy. I don't remember this girl we dealt with. Sasayama nodded toward the suspect, looking none too pleased. So, Sasayama, I'm thinking the attaché case is going to get handed off again any moment now. Huh? Sasayama peered at the mark, who was scanning the plaza he'd just entered, apparently looking for someone. I take one side, you take the other, Kano suggested. Sasayama's eyes went wide. Say what now? That way we apprehend both perps involved with the handoff. Sasayama didn't reply. Look, HQ isn't thinking about the hostage's safety, Kano said, but that needs to take priority here. Sasayama's face took on a rare solemnity. Disobeying a direct order is... orders... Ooh, someone forgot a space. Not something to do lightly. Fun fact. Disobeying a direct order. A detective's behavior is governed by the Local Public Service Act. Article 32 states that a detective is to faithfully follow the orders of his superior in the course of his duties. Violating this is punishable by a warning, reduction in pay, suspension from duty, or dismissal. In the event of a warning, not only is the individual expected to submit a formal letter of apology, but pay raises may be delayed or performance bonuses cut. Alright. Then after a moment he added, "But I'm on board. I'm sick of all this wandering around anyway." "That's the Sasayama I know," Kano replied with a chuckle. Sasayama gave him a silent thumbs up. The two detectives took up a position on opposite sides of the plaza. Kano called up Sasayama on his cell phone. "You ready?" he asked. "Just give the word." There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing their surroundings anxiously. Keanu was certain the handoff was about to take place. And then, well, if it isn't Mr. Toyama. Keanu's ears perked up at the sound of an aggressive greeting, the voice dripping with feigned cheer. "Oh, hey, it's, Gossip Magazine Man." He whirled around to see two rough-looking young men confronting a father and his daughter. The older man looked pained. "Please just hold on," he said placatingly. "I thought we agreed on 4 o'clock. The young man snarled. "Don't you try and play dumb with us, buddy." "It's nothing like that, I swear. My girl was just hungry, so I just stepped out too." "Yeah? How come you didn't just order delivery, huh?" "Ah, yes, right. I suppose that would work too, haha." "Don't you, me, man." Kano watched the argument uneasily. The stranger's altercation put him in a bit of a spot. The crook he was tailing probably wouldn't risk handing off the case with an uproar like this going on. "What's going on over there?" Sasayama asked. "I'm not sure," Kano replied. "Looks like some kind of argument. The suspects are gonna get wary on us. It's gonna screw up the whole handoff." "Yeah, I know." "So do something about it and get over here," Sasayama said. "What?" "Find some way to shut them up and then get over here." "Oh, sure, alright." Kano headed toward the argument. He was only halfway there when Sasayama called again. He sounded panicked. "Hey, Kano, he made a run for it." "Huh?" "Oh crap." The man they'd been tailing had vanished in the brief time Kano had taken his eyes off of him. "Wait up!" Kano shouted. Sasayama was racing after the suspect and Kano rushed to join him. The man was surprisingly quick, however, and neither detective managed to catch up. In fact, they soon lost sight of him amidst the teeming crowds. Frantically, they dashed through the streets as fast and as hard as they could. "We lost him," Sasayama admitted at last. "Damn it." He stamped his foot on the asphalt in disgust. "Director Kuze," Kano gasped over the wireless. "I'm sorry, but we lost the man with the attaché case." There was a heavy sigh on the other end of the line. Kano braced himself. He wasn't going to be able to weasel out of this one with just a "I'll do better next time." "Sasayama, get your asses back to the precinct. Kuze out." With that, Kuze switched off the line. "Oh, we're about to get a bad end, aren't we?" Back to the precinct. Kano knew full well what that meant. They were off the case. There was a gnawing in his gut. If those two punks hadn't shown up. No. If that father and his daughter hadn't turned up, he might have been able to apprehend the suspect. Ah, that's right. Blame the victim. Don't let it get you down, Sasayama said. I mean, paper pushing can be kind of fun. The look on his face, however, suggested he didn't think it was fun at all. Not one bit. With the air of two men heading to an execution, Kano and Sasayama trudged back towards the Shibuya precinct. Oh no, I didn't go and look at the hint, although I kind of had an idea what the hint was. Okay, so in order to avoid the bad end, we need them not to go out. Which should be in... Okay, we made it all the way through on Hachi. Is it Minorikawa? Yeah. Okay. He's in... Shoot. Right, everyone's got like a... Except for you, you're just to be continued. Everyone's got a keep out going on, so I need to go find... how did this work again? I need to go find a jump point. I'm trying to remember, there's like... This is what I get for not playing the game for so long. Maybe we can find it in a different... Right, this was... Reporter, he's looking for different things. Right. Oh no, this would affect Toyama. Oh, right, yeah. Is it? Which button is it? Aha. I tried to tell him to go back to the office last time. Maybe if we tell him where to stay, keep your head out, stay where I am. But what am I supposed to do? Toyama's voice dropped in and out. It sounded like he was moving quickly. So Toyama is the father with the father-daughter in the other storyline that we just met. He's being chased by people who they owe us money to due to a really unfortunate scratch and win incident in his magazine where the scratch and win tickets were see-through, so too many people won. Find some place to hide and just lay low for a while. Alright, Toyama said weakly. We did tell him to go back to the place, but maybe that didn't work out. Minoru Arakawa let out a deep sigh, then turned back to his laptop. This is Minoru Arakawa. He is trying to write a whole bunch of pieces to fill the magazine with. This still gets me to keep out. I need to find a leap space. I'm trying to remember how that works again. Put a story-heavy game off for too long. Yeah, good, I know. Need to find... Right, this was the thing. Yeah, I don't want to read through this again. This is... because this was not that funny. Right. Jump points have jumps. I think Jump to Tama? I feel like we did this one already. What about this one? Right. Hitomi began typing out a response. Achi watched over her wild speculations running through his mind. So Hitomi is the sister of the one who's gotten kidnapped. Achi's the one who's trying to save her. We're gonna... Yes, we should be able to jump to her father. This might help. Oh good, this will get us over the weird toilet thing. Here, take a look at this. So for those of you unaware, this is the doctor's timeline. His daughter's been kidnapped. And he's being blackmailed, probably, with some sort of bio warfare thing. Huh? Sawa could never have anticipated what he saw on the LCD screen. It was an email from Hitomi. Stifling an exclamation, he scanned the contents of the message. Right, Hitomi sent an email to her father's assistant because she wasn't allowed to talk to her family right now due to a thing. There's a man following me. He has a gun, and I think he's trying to kill me. I'm safe for the moment, so try not to worry. The kidnapper warned me, told me not to contact my family or the police. Please keep this email a secret. Well, you did not do that, did you? But didn't Hitomi give the kidnapper the ransom? Osawa said. What could anyone want with her now? Tanaka shook his head, uncertain. He wouldn't know any better than I would, I suppose. Did the police know about this? And if so, why haven't they said anything? He felt himself start to tremble as he searched for answers in Tanaka's silent gaze. Do you think this could be related to that other thing? I doubt it. If it were, why would they got after Hitomi? I suppose you're right. But Osawa was shaking outright now. Tanaka laid a hand on his shoulder. First, just calm down and let's think about what we know about the kidnapper. His composure helped Osawa keep himself under control. Why this camera angle? Why did you stick a camera in the toilet? Why? Why, game? Why? They've taken Maria, the vice director continued quietly, along with a ransom of 50 million yen. And now they're after Hitomi. His gaze sharpened. Sir, do you think this could be someone who holds a personal grudge against you? A grudge? Osawa considered. He couldn't think of anyone who would have reason to attack him. He'd been too caught up in virus research since his time in school to have formed any hostile rivalries. He didn't have any enemies that he knew of. Maybe someone's jealous that I became head of a laboratory? He suggested doubtfully. He had held his position for years at this point. Why would that spur someone into kidnapping his daughter now? Has anything happened recently? Tanaka asked. Anything strange since you got back from overseas? Since I got back? Osawa's heart skipped a beat, then started pumping faster. The first thing that came to mind was the solicitation he'd gotten from the American laboratory. If he accepted the offer, it would put Okoshi Pharmaceutical in quite a bind, possibly enough to warrant someone holding a grudge over it. But the only other person who knew about the potential transfer now was his wife, I. No, Osawa said. Nothing. Not that I can think of. He couldn't bring himself to discuss the transfer with Tanaka. He felt a surge of guilt for contemplating leaving his trusted assistant behind. If he did make the move to America, he planned to recommend that Tanaka replace him as department director. Still, he didn't expect that to make up for his abandonment. I expected the camera angle to have changed by now, game. Alright, I'll see what information I can find then, Tanaka said. The kidnapper had forbidden any contact with either family or the police, but Tanaka was outside of that circle, and he knew how to handle himself with discretion. I'm sorry to have put this on you, Osawa said, and thank you. For now, let's see if we can get Hitomi to exchange some more emails. An uncomfortable thought suddenly occurred to Osawa. He blurted it out without thinking. Why do you have my daughter's contact information on your phone? Tanaka gave him a worried look. Sir, I promise I can explain once all this is over. And with that, he stepped out of the bathroom. Oh, good. Still doing this. Something in the tone of his final words left Osawa to wonder. So last time when we were in this section, he got told that the toilet was clogged, and so he came to fix it, but that was, like... I thought that was just a ploy for these two to talk. I didn't think it was actually clogged. Could it be that, unless it's clogged with a camera that they put down there, could it be that Tanaka and Hitomi were dating? He hoped dearly for that not to be the case. Their age difference alone made the idea a disturbing one, let alone so many other considerations. Fun fact! Mamoru Tanaka is 40 years old, and Hitomi's 19. Yes, this makes him just over twice her age. This does not necessarily mean, however, that they could not date or fall for each other. Many couples with such an age difference between them wind up in a happy, committed relationship. Still seems weird. Hey, Eric. Trying to put aside his paranoia, Osawa resumed his struggle with the clog in the toilet. Fun fact! Most toilet clogs are caused by a buildup of flushable paper products, or by solid objects inadvertently dropped into the toilet bowl, but shockingly enough, on very rare occasions, they can be caused by someone taking a dump that happens to be that big that it gets stuck in the pipe. Apologies to anyone who might be eating right now. Thanks, game. Thanks, game. Oh, goodness. Kijiwara reappeared, still toting the bucket. Oh, right, this detective. You seem to be having a lot of trouble there, sir. He made it sound like the whole mess was Osawa's fault. Of course I am. I've never had to do this before. Really? I think the research you do would be a lot more difficult than this. Fixing toilets gives me far more trouble, I'd say. So it would seem. Kajiwara stood watching, as if Osawa's efforts made an interesting show. I don't know the first thing about viruses, sir, but I don't find unclogging toilets to be that difficult. Oh yeah? Osawa snapped. Then how about you fix the damn thing? Kajiwara really was a world-class pro at pissing people off. Are you sure you don't mind? The detective asked. Be my goddamn guest. Osawa shoved the plunger into Kajiwara's hand. Whoa! Leaving the detective to handle the toilet, Osawa marched back to his study. He turned on the CD player and lay back on the sofa, squeezing his eyes shut. That's not a sofa, but you tried, game. He was seriously on edge. Kajiwara had totally broken his stride. What now? The door to the study slid slowly open. It's Detective Kajiwara, sir. I'm sorry, did you touch that door handle with what appears to be white gloves from what I can only assume is you fixing the toilet? Why did you walk through the house with those? Please don't come in here without asking. My apologies, Mr. Osawa. I just wanted to inform you the toilet has been fixed. Right, fine. Osawa hardly cared. Just wanted this guy to give him a little peace. Oh my, is that really all you have to say, sir? Nary a compliment or encouraging word? Maybe a good job, Kajiwara? Or you're getting a promotion, detective? I get the feeling that Kajiwara is not a good person. Osawa blew out his breath in exasperation. How? How are you a detective? I'm not sure I get your meaning, sir. You are completely clueless. I'd like to ask your superiors to replace you with a detective who knows how to take his job seriously. Mr. Osawa, with all due respect, it's unusual for a precinct detective like me to be stationed here at a victim's home. What's your point? Not to brag, sir, but I happen to be an exceptional detective. Kajiwara beamed with pride. In fact, I made an excellent showing in the Superstar Detective contest we had on our police social media service. Fun fact, social media service, it's an online platform whose primary feature is allowing people to connect with one another. The police-exclusive social media network that Kajiwara belongs to, Poxy, is very strictly regulated, with any abusive language, slander, sexual content, or lame jokes deleted almost immediately. I guess they're not very into puns on that one. For a moment, Osawa thought the bolt of incredulous anger that shot through him was the onset of a stroke. How could a single person be so utterly infuriating? And you can't tell anyone about this, Kajiwara went on, obliviously. But this summer, a new detective manga is starting up, based on me. Fun fact, detective manga, planned for serialization in the MPD's monthly PR magazine. The chapter titles have already been decided. Chapter 1, The Fabled Detective Kaji. Chapter 2, Kaji howls at the sun. Ooh! Chapter 3, Kaji rides the rails. Chapter 4, Kaji at daybreak. Chapter 5, Detective Kajak. Chapter 6, Kaji, Queen of the Street. Chapter 7, Look out, Kaji. Chapter 8, Kaji on the Edge. Chapter 9, Dance, Kaji, Dance. Chapter 10, Space Detective Kaji, and so forth and so on. Unless he goes to space. Osawa spat out a peal of feigned laughter. A manga? I can tell you all about the plot, sir. Would you like to hear about it? I would not. It's about a telecommuting detective who solves major crimes using just his wits and his computer. Surely you'd like to hear about that, sir. I really wouldn't. I know I may not look it, but I'm pretty handy with computers. Kajiwara's eyes drifted over to Osawa's desktop. Ew! No! Why are you still wearing those gloves? Ugh! His hand darted to the mouse in a matter of moments. He cleared the screensaver and booted up a web browser. Hey, Osawa barked. Don't touch that. But he was too late to stop the detective. The monitor showed the page for AyaNet, a fan page devoted to Aya Kamiki. Osawa's imminent rage stroke was beginning to make his vision grow fuzzy. You come to this site regularly, sir? Regularly? Well, I'm not sure I'd say, Osawa trailed off, feeling the heat of a blush flare on his cheeks. There's a lot of stuff on this site. Is there a section you primarily spend time on? Well, I mean, for my part, I really only go to the fan forums for folks 40 and over. Aha! With a twinkle of curiosity in his eyes, Kajiwara appeared at the computer screen. Having his privacy invaded to this degree was the ultimate disgrace. This guy is awful. I want to go back to the punks who were trying to shake down a father and daughter. They're less gross. They don't wear toilet gloves. Alright, Osawa huffed. You're an amazing detective, Kajiwara. Just incredible. I see you in a new light now. Now would you please? I don't want to leave him alone in the study. Let's push him out the door. Would you please get the hell out of my room? He tried to usher Kajiwara back out the door. Alright, sir, the detective said. Alright, I understand. I'll leave. But before that... Kajiwara slipped his hand into his pocket. I don't need a damn banana. It's not that, Mr. Osawa. Oh, right, I forgot he was Banana Man. I have something that I think may be important to you. He held out a small plastic bag. Inside was a scrap of paper of some sort. What's that? Osawa asked. This is what was clogging the toilet, sir. That? No. With some hesitation, Osawa took hold of the bag. Huh? That's... The passenger name here is listed as Kenji Osawa. In the plastic bag was a plane ticket. Specifically the one for his upcoming flight to the US the following week. He'd left it out on his desk. How had it wound up getting flushed down the toilet? This looks like pretty important, sir, Kajiwara said. Must say it was pretty careless of you to accidentally flush it. A wry smile came to his face. Although, the detective added, I suppose the question of who flushed it is another matter entirely. Osawa was at a loss for words. Someone had tried to flush his plane ticket on purpose? He was sure of it. Well, yeah, I don't think that's a thing you do by accident. He knocked on the door to Ai's room, but there was no response. It didn't look like she'd gotten back home yet. Osawa let himself in. The stinging scent of her perfume pervaded the room, which was decorated all in white. Clothes were strewn all about, as if to put her slovenliness on display. She'd been like this ever since they'd gotten married, and Osawa had long since stopped caring. It must have been I who tried to flush the ticket. He knew she didn't want him going to America, but still, couldn't she have found a better way to get rid of it? Thanks to her, He'd been stuck hunched over the damn toilet, fighting with the plunger. Osawa sat down on the bed amidst the brand-name clothing. Then he spotted something odd down by his feet. It was a gold cigarette lighter. Just when had I picked up smoking? Osawa picked up the lighter and set it on the shelf next to the bed. He started out of the room, but stopped as he noticed a scrapbook on the bookshelf. The rest of the shelf was filled with fashion magazines, so the scrapbook definitely drew his eye. I guess. Curious, he took it down and opened it. The book was filled with articles and write-ups about the results of Osawa's research and the company's various achievements. Flipping through the pages took him on a trip down memory lane. There was even an old company memo welcoming Tanaka on board as his new vice director. There was a photo of Osawa shaking Tanaka's hand at the party celebrating his new position. It was a little peculiar to think that she had bothered to keep something so trivial. A series of magazine articles were nestled between the pages further into the book. These hadn't been clipped out for inclusion in the scrapbook itself. Osawa glanced through them. Floundering Okoshi Pharmaceutical arranges marriage of political convenience. It was a self-indulgent piece from some rag called 4-Star General Gossip, from right after he and I had gotten married. When the piece had first run, he'd been too furious to read it. Now he gave it a quick look. Looking over, it was pretty much exactly what he'd expected. It talked about how one of the corporate directors had sacrificed his own daughter in order to keep one of his researchers on board. Fun fact! Sacrifice! Allowing someone else to come to harm for one's personal gain. In this case, the term is used figuratively, not literally. Referring, of course, to Makino offering Osawa Ai's hand in marriage. Rumors abound of marital strife between the newlyweds. The article went on to talk about how Ai had been dating another man before she and Osawa had gotten married. The whole thing was a bunch of puerile rubbish. Any marriage involved some kind of calculated self-interest after all. Whatever the reasons for their union, nothing changed the fact that I was now his wife. With a faint sigh, Osawa put the scrapbook back on the shelf. Feeling disconsolate, he returned to his study and began flipping through his CD rack. His eyes scanned for Aya Kamiki's album For Tomorrow, Forevermore. A lot of her more experimental numbers were on that album. Given how discombobulated he felt right now, this was what he needed to hear. Again, Osawa reflected on how there'd been a time when he didn't care about music at all. He'd simply purchased copies of the most popular CD of the moment as birthday presents for his two girls, and that had just happened to be an album by Aya Kamiki. Hitomi was thrilled by the gift, but Maria hadn't seemed terribly fond of it. The next day she tossed her copy back on her father's desk. Figuring that throwing it away would be a waste, Osawa had stuck the CD into his computer to give it a listen. He was immediately bombarded by an intense beat bolstered by bold, uplifting vocals. Aya Kamiki wrote her own lyrics, which did a fine job of conveying the emotions of a teenage girl. Osawa could hardly believe it. I don't know how he would know the emotions of a teenage girl. I can't believe it either. After listening to just one track, he was well and truly hooked. Before the day was out, he had purchased her entire discography. Huh? He muttered. For Tomorrow should have been in the CD rack, but there was no sign of it. Oh no. Where the heck is it? Why isn't it here? For a moment he wondered if he was going crazy, and then he remembered. It was at the lab. He wanted something to listen to on break at work, so he'd brought the album there. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Now being able to listen to it made him want to hear it all the more. It wasn't like he could just go out and buy another copy right now either. He'd just have to borrow the copy he'd given to Hitomi all those years ago. Unable to contain his need to hear the music, he went to Hitomi's room. There he quickly rummaged through the CD rack beside his daughter's bed. Part of him felt like he was being a little sneak thief. According to the email Tanaka had shown him, someone was trying to kill Hitomi. Under the circumstances, he knew that what he was doing was ridiculous, and yet he still couldn't resist the impulse to find the CD. But his efforts were to no avail. There were no Aya Kamiki CDs on the rack at all. But there's definitely some Mozart. Osawa pulled out every CD on the rack, but they were all classical music. He slumped back in disappointment. It had to be somewhere here in her room. Osawa jumped at the sound of his cell and fumbled to get it out of his pocket. Makino's name was displayed on the LCD screen. "I'm out front." That was all Makino said before hanging up. Hurriedly, Osawa began tidying up the CD rack. As he worked, he thought about what he was going to say to Makino. To think that someone had violated corporate policy to such unethical ends. It sullied his research. Osawa wasn't about to let anyone get away with it. And yet, as he was about to leave Hitomi's room, a sudden uncertainty gripped him. He hesitated. Did he have any right to condemn Makino for running trials in secret? His hand began to sweat as it gripped the doorknob. No, he didn't. How could he? His hands were dirty in all this too. We need to keep this a secret, just between us. It'll be fine. We've already cleared animal testing. The memories hovered. Osawa himself had already administered the antiviral to someone handy. It was the only way. Muttering to nobody in particular, Osawa trudged toward the front door of his house. Hey, we got him to the end of the hour! Sweet. Now we just gotta get, like, 3 other people there. Alright, so we've got... Tama has a keep out. So that was the jump we did. Not convinced the other jump isn't. Is there any other? Alright then. Nope, we did her father. So... let's jump to Mina Arakawa? Kawa? Yeah. So, let's see. At roughly the same time, he's grinding his teeth. Trying to keep to his schedule. Minarikawa took a look at his wristwatch and gritted his teeth. Fun fact, wristwatch! By the way, what sort of impression do you have of this wristwatch? Just respond with whatever comes to mind. It's glow in the dark. That's neat. It's not my style, but you know, whatever. Damn, is it this late already? He needed to head for the sales demo. The surveillance camera article wasn't done, but you just have to leave where it was for now. As he was slipping his laptop back into his bag, his cell phone rang. He looked at the screen and saw Chiaki's name listed as the incoming caller. Was she done with her interviews? Hurriedly, he picked up. Chiaki, how's it going? Several wet sniffles came through to the receiver. Are you crying? It's no use. Chiaki's voice was indeed punctuated by sobs. People won't stop to talk no matter how hard I try. Oh, come on! This again? Really? I can't do it. Don't worry about paying me. Just please let me go home. Minato Arakawa was already operating on a too tight schedule. He didn't have time to worry about Chiaki on top of it all. Look, just slow down and take a breath. Try and keep at it a little longer. He should have seen this coming when he first called her. Her shyness was practically pathological. But if he cut her loose now, all this frustration would be for nothing. But I can't do it, Chiaki whined again. Please, just forget you ever called me. She hung up before Minato Arakawa could get another word in. He tried calling her back, but she didn't pick up. Damn it, Chiaki. Don't you dare bail on me. Leaving money for his coffee on the table, Minato Arakawa jumped up and bolted from the cafe. The plaza outside Shibuya Station was as crowded as ever. Minato Arakawa looked around, but there was no sign of Chiaki. She bailed. Minato Arakawa dropped to his knees in despair. Or, stood up in despair. Same thing. His last hope had up and left. There was no one else he could even ask. Damn it! Alright then, fine. I'll do it myself. He dragged himself back to his feet. Alright, listen up! He shouted at the passing crowd. I'm doing street interviews here, starting now. You guys, shut up and help me. I mean, don't shut up, but help me. That looks like a fun picture he got to take. He wound up blowing way too much time just to get 2 pages worth of content, leaving himself unable to finish the other articles. In the end, the issue of 4-star General Gossip never made it to the newsstands, and Heaven Publishing went down for the count. I wasn't really expecting the hanging feet to be there all of a sudden. I didn't think that would be a bad end. Alright, without Chiaki, Minato Arakawa just couldn't get the gossip finished in time. What made her run off, though? Chiaki shows up in Kano's story at 12:10. Okay. Oh, she was the girl we ran into who was doing the interviews. Okay. Gotta go back to Kano. It's at 12:10. What, the girl asked Kano? Yeah, wanna go hit her up? Questioning her. She can't be involved with this, can she? Sasayama flashed him a skeptical look. Don't let your preconceptions get the better of you. Could get you killed. Fun fact, preconceptions! Fixed notions one has about something before the facts are known can be a hindrance to thinking freely. If you think about it too hard, you might fall victim to the preconception that preconceptions themselves are always bad. Thanks, game. I know that, but still, she doesn't come across as involved to me. Kano knew better than to judge people based on appearance, but he was still convinced the girl wasn't part of this gang. She just struck him as far too, well, inept, really. Alright, I'll go look into the girl, Sasayama said. You keep following the attaché case. Kano nodded and hurried after the man. The man's black garb made him stand out in the crowd at the intersection. It occurred to Kano that all the criminals who'd handled the attaché case had been wearing the same black clothing. That fact made the whole situation even weirder. Could they really be ignorant that they were being followed while they were all wearing the same eye-catching outfit? It was more like they were going out of their way to make sure the investigators spotted them. It still didn't provide any clues as to what they were after, though. The longer Kano kept tailing these guys, the less it all made sense. Right, the Dick Diary. Dick Dictum number 1. Never lose sight of what you're supposed to protect, ever. So this is all similar dialogue, but we also now haven't done the thing. So maybe it's fine now? We didn't talk to her this time. So it's all okay, right? Several wet sniffles came through the receiver. Crying. Oh, this all looks like the same dialogue. People won't stop to talk no matter how hard they try. Just don't pay me. I can't make the thing skip though, so maybe? Should see this coming. Do it. Look, just calm down. Minoru was practically screaming into his phone. Just stay where you are until I get there, okay? Got that? Whatever you do. Just don't move. Okay, it is different. Leaving the money, he ran out. Street interviews were tougher than they looked. Not many random passerbyers were willing to stop and do a back and forth. Still, being able to talk to people on the street was a fundamental skill for a freelance reporter. All Minoru wanted was for Chiaki to put in a little effort and make it happen. Although he found her personality frustrating, he actually quite liked her writing. Reading her words, you'd never guess what she was like in person. If she could just break the right story, he was sure readers would be quite taken with her. There was no time like the present. The plaza outside Shibuya Station was as crowded as ever. Minoru looked around and soon spotted Chiaki. Hey, what are you doing? He asked. She was hunkered down in front of the statue of Hachiko, squatting in an odd position. A group of kindergartners were gathered nearby, peering at her with sadness in their eyes, like she was a stray dog or something. Fun fact! Kindergartners! A pair of girls from Midoriyama Academy's kindergarten. They always hang out around the train station after school. They're quite fond of killing time inside of the Tokyo 5000 series display car, the new landmark by the Hachiko entrance. The beat cop at the station's police box was nicknamed them the Kinder Partners. What's this all about? Minoru asked. This is how I end up when I lose all my self-confidence. I just want to hide. Oh, for crying out loud, get up, will you? I don't wanna. Stop crying, Chiaki sniffled and wiped at her eyes. Let me ask you this, Minoru stared down at her. What was it that made you want to be a freelance writer? Well, I guess because I wanted to try my hand at writing. A dangling bit of mucus bobbed in and out of Chiaki's left nostril as she spoke. Okay, Minoru followed. And why's that? Well, I'm too embarrassed to say. Chiaki hid her face in her hands. Okay, never mind that then. Right now you have a task that's been handed to you. You can't just say you can't do it. Minoru tried to keep his tone calm. No magazine in the world is going to let a novice writer just write about whatever they want. You have to prove yourself first. Get your fundamentals down. I already know all that. Minoru took the notebook from Chiaki's hands. Hey, she squeaked. Wait, you've only talked to one person so far? There sure wasn't going to be a story in that. Yeah, well, not a person exactly. Wait, what's this here? A cat? No, I mean, yes, there was a person in a cat costume. Nice. That'll be our jump point for something else. I thought since I couldn't see their face, it'd be easier to ask them stuff. Fine, whatever. Now get back out there and get me some more. Minoru steered Chiaki toward the passing crowd. What, now? Yes, now. We've got no time to waste. I'll even stand by and watch for a minute. Now enough with the excuses and get out of there. I don't understand why these kids. Minoru looked on as Chiaki wandered through the crowd. Her anxious demeanor seemed to repel everyone around her. On the rare chance she did manage to flag someone down, the way she stammered through her initial questions made them take off again. These children are judgmental. After a minute or two, she shuffled her way back, shoulders slumped. See? It's hopeless. Okay, some advice. First off, you aren't approaching the right people. Some people are clearly in a rush, you know? You're not going to have much luck trying to flag down a businesswoman who's visibly in a hurry. Now, folks who are waiting on someone, couples, groups, they're going to be less on their guard. But I mean, if I do manage to nab someone, how do I keep the conversation going? Chiaki asked. That was indeed the tricky part. Whenever I get an answer I'm not expecting, I get all flustered. Chiaki, have you ever played tennis? Tennis? Well, yeah, I was in my school's tennis club. She struck Minorikawa as being more the manga club type, but that was neither here nor there. Okay, that'll make this simple. What's more fun, rallying with an opponent or hitting the ball off a wall? Rallying with someone else, of course. Minorikawa gave a hearty nod. And why is that? Because when you hit the ball off a wall, you already know where it's going to come back to. Revelation dawned on Chiaki's face. Oh. It's the same way with interviews, Minorikawa said. Don't get flustered. Enjoy the rally. But I don't think I'm composed enough to enjoy it. Don't overthink things. Just let yourself enjoy the small talk. Small talk? Oh, I'm sure I'm not any good at that. She was starting to waffle again. Okay, let me ask you this, Minorikawa said, taking a step closer. Are you happy with your life right now? Oh, do we have to go into the deep questions, sir? I'm not happy with my life right now, no, Chiaki muttered. She hung her head in dismay. Okay, so start with that, Minorikawa said. Huh? Chiaki blinked a few times as she lifted her head back up. I'm not happy with my life right now. But what about you? Like that. Oh, okay. A sliver of liveliness had crept back into Chiaki's voice. Minorikawa jabbed his finger right in her face. Right there, he said. Put on that face when you flag people down. Chiaki's smile widened. I'll give it a shot. Thank you so much. Sure thing. Good luck. Chiaki strode enthusiastically into the crowd. Oh. He tried to flag down a Westerner who was walking hurriedly past. Did she even listen to a word I said? Norikawa felt a short-lived triumph melt away. Am I just going to have to teach her everything again from scratch? Then he paused in surprise. Right, that's, not Hitomi Maria's friend? Teacher? Something. He was around when the kidnapping occurred. He was one of the witnesses. Hold on. Okay, good. Whoa! Chiaki had snatched the man by the arm in an attempt to get him to stop. To Minorikawa's amazement, the gambit worked. Before long, it looked like the two of them were engaged in some kind of animated conversation. Maybe she would get an interview out of this after all. Heck, the look on her face was actually somewhat confident. Sometimes people would surprise you once you got past their surface issues. Now Minorikawa could head to the Burning Hammer sales demo with a little more peace of mind. Speaking of which... Crap, what time is it? In a panic, Minorikawa checked his wristwatch. Fun fact, think about this wristwatch. That will tell you how you think about the opposite sex and whatnot. This game is weird. The demo was set to start in less than 5 minutes. Uh-oh, he really was cutting it close. Minorikawa sprinted through the intersection, heading for Center Guy. Yeah! Okay, cool. That ended up a lot better. Alright. We need to use this jump, though. Person in cats. Tama, what were you doing? Because I don't remember. Yarg, what should I do? Where could that... Oh, right. Right, they went to go get the Burning Hammer product, but it had been left in a spot and picked up to go for trash, so they need to go get the product before the demo starts, or they won't have any product to sell, so it won't matter. Where could that truck that took the Burning Hammer possibly have gone? I'm standing there, racking my brain, when I hear a voice call out from behind me. Excuse me? Are you, happy with your life right now? I turn to see a woman holding a notebook. Huh? I mean just... Sorry, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? I do not have the time for this right now. I'm more than a little busy. Oh, no. I mean, I understand if you can't. She's giving me this hyper-intensive stare. I can't tell if she's trying to be intimidating or if she's actually afraid of me. Something about her is definitely off. Way too jittery and suspicious for my liking. Whatever she wants, I'd rather not get involved. I'm actually pretty busy, I say. Oh, but, I mean, just real quick. It'd be a huge help, please. But, please? I really... Please? She bows so many times she looks like one of those drinking birds. Fun fact! A toy bird that functions by means of a simple heat engine mechanism, causing it to continually dip its head into liquid and then rise back up, sometimes falsely claimed to be a type of perpetual motion device, once a common sight in offices the world over. Lies. Alright, so, can't help but feel bad. Could give her a few moments of my time. She's creeping me out. Decide to ignore her and move along. We probably shouldn't stick around. We don't get that product, bad things will happen. So we're gonna just go ignore her. She refuses to back down, however. Heck, hey wait, please, please. She's begging outright now. She's got tears in her eyes. I really am super busy. Just one, please. Can you answer just one question? People are shooting us some weird looks as they walk by. Maybe it would be simpler to just answer a question. Then I'll get out of here as quick as I can. Alright, go ahead, I say. Oh, right. So, are you happy with your life right now? Well, right now, as you can see, I am a cat. Oh, a cat. Yes, I see. A cat. So, yeah, I'll put down cat. She just writes the word cat in her notepad. Okay, thank you so much. Sure, I murmur. Later. I head off in search of the burning hammer once more. No matter where I wander, though, I don't spot the truck anywhere. Now there's only 15 minutes before the demo's supposed to start. I better make my way back to the venue. Maybe Cheery had better luck in her search. Back at the break room, I'm met by Mr. Yanagishita, who positively radiates despair. Did you find it? I'm sorry. I tried. Yanagishita's shoulders slump further at my response. Have you heard from Cheery? I asked. No, nothing yet. Guess she's our last hope. All of a sudden, Mr. Yanagishita holds up a pendant. The situation's rough. I'd like you to wear this. It's a miracle stone, like the one I saw back in the storeroom earlier. This ought to kick up our luck a notch. He's wearing one too. Now I see that Yashita is wearing another miracle stone around his own neck. Using one bit of sham merchandise to help find another. Nice. This is the pinnacle of pitiful. That's what this is. Hurry up, put it on. Before the luck runs out. Mr. Yanagishita's eyes are all bloodshot. Something tells me that refusing his request wouldn't be wise right now. After a moment's hesitation, I took hold of the pendant. The stone is blue and glittery. Is that Cheery? Mr. Yanagishita squeaks. He whips out his phone. Ah, no, sorry, he mutters after listening for a moment. I think you have the wrong number. Guess it isn't Cheery after all. Okay. And yet he stays on the line. Huh? Really? His tone suddenly does a complete 180. Yes, please, thank you so much. As soon as he hangs up, Yanagishita strikes a victory pose. It's a miracle! Burning Hammer is back, baby! The recycling guy realized his mix-up and returned the boxes to the loading dock. Whoa, for real? You girls did great. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. I've never seen someone come so close to literally jumping for joy. I'm going to go prep the demo room. Tama, you go bring the burning hammer inside. At that, Mr. Yanagishita practically flies out of the room. No way, I murmured to myself. This thing didn't actually work, did it? I examined the miracle stone more closely. It just looks like some kind of toy jewelry. I wish that I actually get paid my 20,000 yen. Hey, it's worth a shot. With the miracle stone still clutched in my hand, I hurry out to the loading dock. I brace myself before actually stepping out the door. It's not there! Where is it? I look and I look, but I see no sign whatsoever of any burning hammer. In a panic, I call the recycling guy. Well, I definitely returned it to the loading dock. I can assure you of that. If you're telling me it's not there now, unfortunately, that isn't my responsibility. He hangs up. Didn't even sound like he cared. I look around a little more, but to no avail. Yeah, it's definitely not here. Did someone else take it, maybe? As I hang my head in dismay, a middle-aged man in a sanitation uniform passes by, hauling a big garbage bag. He flashes me a curious look. What did we do, Tama? Mr. Yanagishita freaks out when he hears the burning hammer's missing. Please, you gotta give me something. I'm not really sure, sir. Now my boss is an even bigger wreck than he was before. This job is toast. Any money I was going to get paid is going up in smoke. Just like all my hopes and dreams at this point. I guess maybe we could try selling the Yanagachis? Or something? It's not much of a suggestion, but it's all I've got. Mr. Yanagishita looks at me intently. Wait, what did you just say? Huh? What did you just say? Or something? No, before that. I guess maybe we could try selling the Yanagachis? I could almost see the wheels turning in his head first as a smile slowly creeps back onto his face. That's it. That's it. That's it. I'm certain I can see an actual gleam in his eyes. Right then, I guess it's our only real option. No, wait, this is a sign. That burning hammer didn't just vanish by coincidence. Oh no! He jolts to his feet, his eyes still positively aglow. Alright, see you later, Yanagachis. We're about to knock you right out of the park. For a second, I really thought we weren't gonna get a bad end, and then we did. I probably don't need to tell you how the event goes down. We don't manage to sell even a single Yanagachi. Turns out, hey, people are really creeped out by eels, and our customers have no problem letting us know that, very politely I might add, as they storm away in a huff. But, Chiri said she liked eel salt broiled and in sushi. I hear Mr. Yanagishita mutter to himself as I get ready to leave. If only we hadn't lost the burning hammer, things would have gone so much differently. Or no, maybe they'd have gone pretty much the same. You know, I probably should have listened to my gut earlier. Agreeing to take on this job has brought me nothing but trouble. Nobody's going to have any luck selling digital pets to customers who are looking for a health food demo. But why did the burning hammer disappear anyway? Well, that sanitation worker Tama saw had found another pile of trash to dispose of. Sometime close to 12:40, someone winds up breaking the bottles, turning them into useless garbage. But who is that someone? Now what can they do differently? 12:40. This is a decision thing that you have to change. It was this, wasn't it? We did try to run him over with yeah, with that forklift. Alright. Forklift. We throw the boxes. Threw at the man with the cane. It was filled with something heavy. That ought to be great. Struck the assassin in the face. The man staggered sideways. Have another. One by one, we hurled each box. That last box wasn't properly sealed. It broke open as Nope, I'm pretty sure that also broke all the bottles. The man more closely saw that he was spattered in red liquid. Apparently the stuff in the bottles had gotten in his eyes. Now's our chance. Achi took off. Well then. That was probably not correct. But that's the decision point. I don't suppose that changes anything. Maybe just the one box shatters. Maybe the other boxes are okay, and then we get some product, and that's okay. Here we are. Hurry out to the loading dock. And they're there? And everything's okay? Yay! Okay, it worked out. It's there. It's really there. The cardboard boxes are scattered all around outside. Wait. Scattered all around? What happened to them? I suddenly have a very bad feeling about this. Apprehension gnaws at me as I open one of the boxes. No! I shriek, and my vision dims. Oh, that stuff looks disgusting. The box is full of bottles of burning hammer. All of them smashed to pieces. Okay, but that's not a bad end, apparently. Okay, we've gotten you, we've gotten you. Kano's really the only one left? Yeah, just Kano. What's the decision here? Right, the bloodied young man. Maybe that doesn't matter? Well, let's change it anyway. We can get Kano to the next hour. We can move everyone onto them. Alright, call Juvenile Affairs. Juvenile Affairs. Fun fact, part of the communal safety section, which handles crimes pertaining to public decency, finances, pollution, and so on. Juvenile Affairs deals with misconduct and criminal activity involving minors. Since many SOS members are underage, the Shibuya Precinct's Juvenile Affairs Division has been ramping up its efforts to deal with the gang. Although one detective in particular has been using this as an excuse to go on patrol at arcades, ignoring his duties in order to fuel his video game addiction. Kano took out his cell phone so he could call the precinct, but Sasayama stopped him and showed the two youngsters his badge. Okay, so that didn't really change anything there. That was a decision for nothing. Bum bum. Okay, tailing this man. Pedestrian pass. How'd things go with the girl? You were right. She's not part of this. Just one of those street evangelists or something. Oh yeah? Yeah, she kept asking me, but are you really happy with your life? Wigged me out. I bailed out of there quick. Oh right, he talked to Chiaki. So, Sasayama, I'm thinking the attaché case is gonna get handed off. Do. Take one side, you take the other. Yeah, we're gonna do the thing that we're told not to do. And it'll work this time? Sick of wandering around. I don't know if we fixed this or not. Can't have called up Sasayama's cell phone. Ready? Okay, no, this looks about the same. I thought we took care of that. $4 o'clock. Yeah, no, ended up with a bad end. Just gonna get to the bad end so I can read the hint. Guy got away. I'm not sure. Wait up, Kano shouted. Sasayama was racing after the suspect and Kano rushed to join him. The man was surprisingly quick, however, and they weren't able to do it. Right, they do lose him. It's the father and daughter. They need to not be in there. It means I need to find out what decision puts them there. Kano's taken off the case because he lacked track of the suspect thanks to a random altercation nearby, and his glum conclusion was correct. If that father-daughter duo hadn't shown up, this wouldn't have happened. A certain someone needs to give those two some better advice, and a certain other someone needs to meet up with them outside his or her house. Both of those are key to changing poor Kano's fate. So there's two decisions I need to have. Certain someone needs to give those two better advice, and someone else needs to meet up with them outside his or her house. Meet up outside. My decision here. Lab security. That'd be the advice. Which I've given them both at this point, so I don't know. Probably get back to the office. Because then you can't be someplace like that. Someone needs to meet someone outside their house. Yeah, I don't think it's that one. Persistent pursuit. Reza, hey, thank you for that resub. 16 months. How you doing? Right, that's the weird... I mean, the only one who's in a house is Sala. Is maybe this decision? I don't think it's this one. Doubt it's that one. What about... Right, this doesn't have anything to do with meeting anyone. Meeting someone inside their house. No, that doesn't seem right. This is just a dumb fight. I think that... Sure, why not? Let's just kick their asses. I don't think that had any change on anything. That seems about the same thing. We changed that. Maybe that one. Probably not that one. I'm not sure what decision I need to fix. someone out. I suppose it could be one of these things. Probably not the father-daughter, but maybe the weird sound? I spent a whole bunch of time trying to keep him out of trouble. Let's get to the bottom of this weird sound. He searched his surroundings, discovered the noise was coming from his own bag. Alright, he pulled out one of the most important tools of his trade, a bug detector. Fun fact, an instrument for finding listening devices. Since wireless listening devices emit radio signals, bug detectors are designed to use wide area receivers to reveal their presence. Using a detector to find something in this fashion is known as fox hunting. It was on and it picked up a signal. To a reporter, information was life. That made owning a bug detector a sensible precaution in this line of work. With a device in hand, Minorukawa casually scanned the area. Eventually, he zeroed in on the signal. He stood up. "Everyone, your attention, please," he announced. "Someone set up a listening device in here." Several cafe patrons turned their heads in disbelief. A woman wreathed in pungent perfume flashed him a disagreeable look. "Oh, come on, that's ridiculous," she huffed. "There's something fishy going on. The only thing fishy right now is you," the woman declared disdainfully. "Why don't you get out of here and let everyone enjoy their meals?" "No, I smell a scoop." "What?" "You, what's your name?" "None of your business, that's what." "Hurry up and stop that awful noise." The other customers were starting to murmur loudly. "There's a listening device here, folks," Minorukawa said. "How can that not bother you? Do you know where it could be?" "Excuse me," the woman called out. "Could someone please do something about this man?" A waitress hurried over. "Sir, please, you're bothering our customers. There's a listening device in here. That's what people should be bothered by right now." The waitress took a reflexive step backward at the words listening device. "Isn't that I think that's the mom." "You're the one who's intruding on everyone," the woman shouted. "Honestly, could you please stop that racket? It's not me making the racket. It's the bug tracker. Just who the hell do you think you are?" "Police. Somebody call the police." "Ma'am, please calm down," the waitress said. "There are other customers here, and I'll calm down once you get this disrespectful bore out of here." "All I'm doing is sharing the truth. You can't kick me out for that." The waitress wavered, clearly intimidated by both of them. "You sure got a lot of nerve," the woman snapped at Minorukawa. "Go play detective somewhere else." "I'm not a detective. I'm a reporter." "Really now? By far my least favorite profession." "Oh ho, and why is that? Did someone write a story about you, lady? Got skeletons in your closet?" "You shut your mouth. How dare you?" "Yeah, I smell a scoop here, alright, and the smell is coming from you." "Oh, stop it with your scoop nonsense already. It's no use trying to hide things from me. You have no idea what you're talking about. "Oh, yes I do, lady." "Go to hell. After you. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah." As they shouted over each other, their words blurred together until they were barely words anymore. The onlookers could hear only indistinct, meaningless raving. And still the yelling went on and on and on. Eventually there came the sound of approaching sirens. But even when a police cruiser pulled up outside the cafe, the two didn't slow their bickering. Alright, so that wasn't the decision we had to fix. Naruka lost his cool, got drawn into an argument with a stranger, giving no thought to the consequences. By the time he came to his senses in a jail cell, it was too late to say 4-star general gossip. Maybe worrying about weird noises can wait. Right now, finishing up that article sounds like a better idea. Thanks, game. Wait. Oh, man. Does that mean... I have to redo the decision? Whoops. That's... Nope. Not what I needed. Back. I need to not do that. Need to never do that. Okay. I already got the advice one. I know we did the right decision on that. Forgot about this. Could be the ransom money isn't even in the case anymore. Sassy, we've got what? Each time the crooks hand off the case, they sneak out a bundle of 1,000,000 yen. They keep doing that, and eventually the case itself is empty. Of course, that's how they've been playing us. Kano and Sasayama exchanged a look. How many people would need to make the switch for them to get all the money? Sasayama asked. 50,000,000 yen divided by 1,000,000. That makes 5 people. That's it then. No, wait. 50 people. That many? That can't be the deal then, Sasayama said. Guess not. They both signed in unison. Okay, so that's about the same. That's a decision that is fine. This one, but I don't really think either of these matters. Guess maybe we could search together, that could be a thing. Let's not split up. Search for the truck. So we make our way down the center guy, peering into all directions. I accidentally bump right into a man who's out with his daughter. Oh, pardon me. Hop back to my feet and go to bow the man in apology. Oh, right, we ran into them here. This happened when we were on our own, too. So her dad drops to his knees, clutching his head. The girl begins to wander off. Okay. Let's make our way back down the road. Chiri's eyes light up upon a cafe. super hungry, she mutters. Not now, we have to find that truck. Yeah, I know. I stride purposely along. Through Cheery flashes the eatery a long, lingering look. She falls into step behind me. Cheery and I wandered around town for another 10 minutes or so. Don't see any sign of the truck, though. Really is good and gone. Turn to look back at Cheery. Huh? Wait, what? Cheery's gone. She must have slipped away from me at some point. Take a quick look around, but there's no sign of her. When did she split off? She was just here 2 or 3 minutes ago. Sales demo starts in 25 minutes. What do? I have time to go looking for Cheery. Don't know how I'm gonna find it. What should I do? Oh, that just got me a keep out. Let's see, that was a cat costume thing. That was you? Nope, not up there. Oh no, it took that off. I shouldn't have taken that back. Fine. When you change what Ashley did during Burning Hammer, do you have to play out the rest of the hidden No. No, I just have to get, like, at least to a save point, it seems like. This won't let me. Alright, fine, let's go find out. Let's go move to another seat and spy. Might as well do it. I don't care if I'm making a scene, the older man was saying. I'm not leaving until I see you cut ties with that boy. Do you understand? I understand that you're never happy unless you get your way. You're acting like a spoiled child. Don't you talk back to me. You don't understand your own situation. You're letting your emotions cloud your judgment without putting any thought to your future. No, Dad, you're the one who doesn't understand. The father-daughter argument was getting more and more heated. Dad was clearly furious. Minorikawa shifted position, curious to see what might happen next. Then he saw the daughter's face and he gasped out loud. Oh, hey, I know you. You're on TV, right? The father scowled up at him. You must be mistaken, he said gruffly. No, I'm sure of it, Minorikawa said. Oh, this was a bad decision. Cow, what show am I thinking of? The young woman seemed disconcerted by his enthusiasm. Who was she? He called out to a waitress who was passing by. Hey, miss, do you know this gal? She's an actress, right? It's right on the tip of my tongue. The waitress ignored him, but Minorikawa was undeterred. I know this. Weren't you in one of those TV dramas or something? Minorikawa is probably thinking of a series starring Masami Nagahama, possibly Operation Hose. The Last Frenchman, Touched by a Tuna, or Sailor Moon Pies, all of which received higher viewer ratings and are fondly remembered in the public consciousness. What? Alright. Right, we're leaving, the father grumbled. Rose from his seat, radiating aggravation. Huh? The young woman said, but... Not waiting to hear her objection, he grabbed her by the hand and stormed out of the cafe. Hey, hold on! His plea fell on deaf ears. All he could do was watch them go, and shuffled back to his seat in disappointment. Damn it, what was her name? Should have asked for her autograph. Mumbling under his breath, Minorikawa went back to typing. Bad end. No? Oh, we're just gonna go to the saving thing. I don't think that was the... That's not a decision we want to keep. That's gonna wreck Kano's timeline if I keep that. What's your article? Ignore that. I don't know why this reversed in such a way. Wait, he checked around the table, but he didn't see it anywhere. He reached into the bag for a project proposal to double check the demo location. Where to go? Just go back for it. Okay. This is Chiaki. This should be fine. Oh, we hung up on her. Okay. He had to hurry. Had to get to the demo venue. He'd lost the map and forgotten the location. Think, man, he told himself. Where would they hold an event like this? Probably someplace big, right? And there ought to be a guide or someone out front, too. With these assumptions in mind, Minorikawa broke into a run, searching ahead as he went. He stopped when he caught sight of a particular multi-tenant office building. A whole stream of women were filing inside. All of them looked a little heavy, too. Pay dirt! This had to be the health food company's sales demo. He hurried into the building. The women were queued up down the hallway. This was definitely the place then. More confident by the moment, Minorikawa made his way up the stairs. Finally, he had reached the front of the line. There was a notice posted outside the doorway ahead. Minorikawa read it out loud. Auditions for the starring role in Sun TV's Sumo Queen 2? Oh no, this is not a good end. A suspense drama about a string of murders that crop up while a group of female sumo wrestlers tour the country. The Megashira, Komusubi, Sekiwake, and Ozeki, the 5th through 2nd place wrestlers from both East and West, are all killed in sequence, leaving only the top 2 ranked Yokozuna. With the real killer still unknown, things come to a heated climax in the ring during the final match. When the loser tearfully confesses to her crimes, it concludes with the victorious wrestler, who had also been playing the part of detective, sorrowfully looking the culprit in the eye and stating, "It's off to the big house with you." Spoilers. It was a sequel series to a recent TV drama featuring full-figured actresses. That's it! Minorikawa exclaimed, a new project proposal springing fully formed into his mind. He felt as if he'd been struck by a bolt of divine inspiration. Big bodies, bigger names. A new arena opens for aspiring plus-size actresses. Never mind the diet drink demo. This was going to be Minorikawa's big story. Seems like a bad end. Or not. Managed to meet the deadline. Show, however, wound up being a massive flop. Sales of that issue... Oh, no, this is totally a bad end. Unprecedented number of copies going unsold. We're gonna show the feed again. Yes, it was no more. Right, yeah, he had to talk to Chiri, and because we went together, she didn't go to the restaurant, so that decision went away. Wound up going the wrong venue entirely. Tema could do something at 12:15. Yeah. I'm bad at time travel. Alright, so to fix that, I need this. Split up. It's fixed. Tammuz is fixed too. Alright. It still doesn't help me with this one. I think I have the right advice one chosen. I just need to find out what the other thing is. To subvert that bad end. What time are we in? We're in like 12 o'clock. I'm trying to find a guide. But they all look like they're bad. I just want to know which decision I need to change to get past this bad end that Kano's got going on here. all the guides for this game are awful or in Chinese. Which is weird. I don't feel like it's lab security. Alright, well let's just go backwards. Let's start with this one. Let's leave the study. God, leave the study. Sir, hold on. There's something I want to give you. Reached into his pocket. Don't need a banana. Sawa fled the room. He needed to be alone for only for a few moments. But even if he could somehow shake Kajiwara, the other detectives had eyes all over his house. He'd reached the limits of his patience. He couldn't even think straight anymore. He headed for the back door, trying to avoid the police. Opening the door quietly, he slipped across the yard and out through the back fence. He didn't want to venture too far from the house. He found a tiny alley and took cover there, thankful for a few moments to himself at last. Oh, here we go. While there, he caught sight of a man and a young girl, a father and his daughter, running past on the main road. It looked as if they were running from something. The man glanced anxiously back over his shoulder, dragging his daughter by the hand. Osawa watched absently as the pair rounded a corner and disappeared from sight. Not long after, a pair of thuggish-looking men came running along, heading in the same direction. "You there," one of them called out. "You see a guy and his daughter around here?" Teratoya and his daughter Hannah have come to Shoto while running from the loan sharks. There's a jump here. That's interesting. They should have come by this way. There was a hint of menace in his voice. Osawa feigned ignorance. "Don't think so, no. Come on, Utaros. Let's go," said the older man. "Alright," replied the other. Two dashed off in the direction the father and daughter had gone. Osawa took several long, deep breaths. He managed to calm down slightly, but the worried gnawing away inside him still lingered. Osawa groaned inwardly when he got back to his study. "You're still here?" "Yes, sir. I was told to keep my eyes on you after all." "Believe me, it shows. Mr. Osawa, if you're going to go outside, I'd appreciate it if you'd let me know first." "What?" Had Kajiwara realized he'd snuck out of the house? But more importantly, Kajiwara reached back into his suit pocket. "I'm meaning to give this to you." A small plastic bag, scrap of paper. This was the thing clogging the toilet. That was his airline ticket. Okay, and then everything goes... Yeah, okay. So what's this jump about? What's this do? Right, this was when we had the phone call about advice. Got some new info. Lost some time. I'm on the run. Okay, this all lines up. Okay, I still think getting back to the office is the right decision. Okay, that's saved. So that's still fine. Cam still has a bad end. No one else was affected. Because if I do whatever I'm supposed to do, I think the bad end goes away and then I continue off with this. Yeah, so it's still happening. Cam's taken off the case because he lost track of the suspect. Father-daughter hadn't shown up. Someone needs to give those two better advice, and a certain other someone needs to meet up with them outside his or her house. Okay, so we did have that happen. So, I guess we do need to tell them not to go back to the office? Seemed like the better option. Kitty Kibitzer, hey, thank you for that resub. Happy New Year, friends. Happy New Year to you as well. I thought going back to the office would have been the better advice. I guess I was wrong. Phone. Okay, keep your head down. Find a place, lay low. Alright, save screen happened. It should be fine. Bad end is still showing there. It's not an option. There's no decision for Osawa. Where is this thing? At least there wasn't. Flood the room. He hadn't been there long. Oh, I needed to go back and read this again after the advice. Alright, sure. The man flashed a look over his shoulder and then took his daughter by the hand and pulled her off the road. They crouched behind some bushes hiding. As he looked around wide-eyed, he spotted Osawa watching him from the alleyway. Help, the man called out. Help me. Please? If these guys catch me, Oh. The father's eyes went wide when he got a look at Osawa's face. You're... Huh? Osawa thought he recognized this fugitive too, though he couldn't remember from where. There's some really nasty guys after us, the man said. I know I have no right to ask you this, but please at least help me keep my daughter safe. Probably you should go to the police if... No, they won't be able to help me with this. Please, I'm begging you. Help me. I'm sorry, but... Please, if not for me, then at least help my daughter. Down at the girl. Unlike her father, she was calm and reserved. She reminded him of Maria just a little. Sure, we'll help evade pursuers. Alright, follow me. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. He led the two back to his house and his storage shed out back. He lay low in here for a while if you like. The shed was fairly large, so there was plenty of space for the man and his daughter. I'm so sorry, the man said. I'm not sure how I can possibly thank you. Don't worry, Osawa closed the shed door and headed back out to take a look around. Two thuggish-looking men came running up to him. No doubt these were the people the father and daughter were running from. You there, said the one. You see a guy and his daughter around here? They should have come by this way. There was a hint of menace in his voice. A man and his daughter? Ah, yes, I think I saw them run through here. Which way'd they go? That way. Sweet, we almost got them. The pair sped away. Osawa waited until they were fully out of sight, then called out to the shed. Alright, they're gone. The door stayed closed, however. I'm really sorry, the man called back from inside. Those guys might come back this way. Is it okay if we hide out here a little while longer? He sounded desperate. Pitiful, really. Sure, go ahead, Osawa said. With that, he headed back inside. Evidently, he just wasn't going to get any time alone today, no matter where he went. Alright, that should be fine. Is that all? Yeah. There we go. Okay, it went away. Just give the word. There were only two non-Japanese people in the nearby crowd. Both were eyeing their surroundings anxiously. Kano was certain the handoff was about to take place, and sure enough, the second man approached the one holding the attaché case. After exchanging a scant handful of words, he took the case and walked off. Sasayama? I'll handle the guy with the case. Got it. Sasayama broke into a run, chasing after the man who'd taken the ransom. Kano hung up his phone and rushed to close the distance between the other man. You there! Stop where you are! The suspect turned and Kano recognized his face. He was indeed a member of the foreign crime syndicate that operated in Shibuya. Was the hostage safe? Kano demanded. The man's only response was an unsettling grin. Answer me! But though he repeated the question, the man remained silent. Handcuff the dude. Took out a pair of handcuffs and reached for the suspect's wrists. Fun fact, equipment used by police officers to shackle suspects. In Japan, the belt that makes up part of the officer's duty uniform has a storage pouch for a pair of handcuffs. The man pulled a knife from his breast pocket and swung it right at Kano's face. Kano managed to jerk away in time, but this momentum carried him too far backward and he sprawled onto the pavement. Damn. The suspect was already making a run for it. Suddenly, a large car of foreign make skidded to a halt, blocking off the man's escape route. A tall Caucasian man jumped out. He wore sunglasses and a crisp suit. Now cornered, the fleeing suspect brandished his knife. Be careful. But Kano didn't even get time to finish shouting his warning. There was a metallic pling, and the knife went flying through the air. The man in the sunglasses had snapped his right foot up, sending the weapon flying. As the attacker's jaw dropped in astonishment, the newcomer proceeded to elbow him right in the face. The blow connected and the suspect went down hard. Ah, ow. The fallen man turned his head to look at Kano. His mouth moved as if he was attempting to say something. He never got it out. The man in the sunglasses kicked him in the face. With a groan, the perp slumped down, unconscious. Hey, Kano snapped. What the hell are you doing? He stormed over to the man with the sunglasses. The man nonchalantly dusted off his suit. You ordered to watch and see where these guys went, right? He spoke in fluent Japanese. Fun fact, imagine that you are a Japanese person who has never been in a situation where you suddenly had to speak to a foreigner. You haven't used English in ages. Your tension grows. You think back to English class in school, but nothing you remember is helpful. You muster up the courage to choke out a stammered, do you? The foreigner responds fluently, in your own language. Nihongo de daijoubu desu? It's alright. I speak Japanese. What happened to that Japanese sense of honor I've heard so much about? Who? Who are you? I'm from the U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office, the man replied. Fun fact, it's an embassy. An embassy is where ambassadors from a foreign country lodge and conduct much of their official diplomatic business. Under international law, ambassadors are guaranteed diplomatic immunity, and the embassy grounds are considered territory of the home nation. The U.S. Embassy's Regional Security Office is responsible for the security of American diplomatic facilities and personnel, and provides American citizens in Japan with information on public order. It is located in Akasaka, in the Minato ward of the Tokyo metropolis. Alright. He presented Kano with his ID. Jack Stanley. His title was listed as Security Assistance Officer. Kano glanced at the car he'd shown up in. The license plate was blue, with white lettering. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs? But the ministry wouldn't just send some diplomat to intervene in a police investigation. Kano pulled his phone out of his pocket. Sasayama's name was displayed across the LCD screen. How are things on your end, Kano? I have the suspect in custody. How about you? Sasayama hesitated. He, got away from me. What about the attaché case? I'm sorry, but he's still gotta be around here somewhere. I'm gonna look around some more. Sasayama hung up. What's your name, detective? Jack Stanley asked, as Kano was processing this new information. Kano from the Shibuya precinct. Alright, Kano. I'm going to need you to follow my instructions for the next while. Why's that? Instead of answering, Stanley took out his cell phone and made a quick call. After a few moments, he held the phone out to Kano. Here, permission from your boss, he said. What? Kano squawked. He took the phone gingerly, bracing himself. Kano speaking. You imbecile! What the hell are you thinking? It was Kuze, and he was furious. Understandably so, really. Kano had disobeyed a direct order, and for what? All he'd accomplished was losing track of the attaché case. I'm sorry, sir. You really think sorry's gonna cut it? You're off the force, Kano. Kano slumped, defeated. He had no reply. He knew he deserved whatever punishment he got. Still, orders from up top didn't trump the hostage's safety. If he could have gone back and done it all again, he was sure he'd make the same call. Maybe that meant he wasn't detective material, but so be it. So, bad end? That's what I want to tell you, Kuze continued. But for now, I need you to follow the instructions of this guy. Stanley, do whatever he tells you. Sir? Kano hadn't seen that one coming. He disobeyed orders, that was undeniable. And yes, he knew he deserved a reprimand. But being ordered to tag along with some stranger who'd just turned up out of the blue? What the heck? May I ask why the U.S. Embassy is involved in this? No more questions, Kano. Step in line. Please, just hold on. Sir, I've no idea what's going on here. Kusei let out an exasperated sigh. That makes two of us, kid. And with that, the director hung up. It sounded like even Kusei didn't have the whole story here, which meant that orders were coming from someplace higher. A foreign syndicate moving the ransom around, the U.S. Embassy. Whatever was going on, it was more than just a local kidnapping case, and Kano was deep in the middle of it. He handed the phone back to Stanley. A few moments later, two detectives from the MPD arrived on the scene. Stanley handed over the fallen criminal to them. You're chasing a bum lead, you know, Stanley said as he watched them carry the man away. What do you mean, Kano asked. I mean this kidnapping isn't about the money. My priority is the girl's safety. Right now, your priority is doing what I tell you to do. Kano gave him a scowl. But Stanley ignored it. That guy was just... arrested? He asked. He tell you anything? No, nothing, Kano said. Really now? All trace of emotion drained from Stanley's eyes. His gaze pierced Kano like icy daggers. It held a glimmer of something dangerous. Something Kano had seen plenty of times since he joined the force. He wasn't looking into the eyes of some diplomatic liaison. No, this was a man who knew how to kill, who'd killed people before. With some effort, Kano managed to regather his sense of professionalism. He didn't tell me anything, he repeated. I just know that he's a member of some foreign crime syndicate that works out of Shibuya. I probably know some of their hangouts. Show me, Stanley said, cool as an automaton. We'll take my car. Kano wiped away some of the sweat that had beaded on his brow as they headed for the vehicle. He was just sliding into the passenger seat when Kusei radioed over the wireless. Okie dokie, folks, listen up. The childish tone was back in his voice, full force. Kano stiffened on reflex. He knew what that meant. So, Hitomi Osawa has, gone missing. What? Kano couldn't believe his ears. Wasn't Tateno supposed to be protecting her right now? Also, Detective Tateno hasn't radioed in, and, we can't reach him from our end either. No way, Kano blurted out. It can't be. So yeah, Kusei continued, he might have gotten caught up in this incident too. It wasn't like a detective of Tateno's stature to go incommunicado during an investigation. It could only mean that something had happened to him. Something major. Hey, we got them to the end of the hour. I think that's the last one we needed. We can get to 1 o'clock. Yeah! It's finally 1 o'clock. So this game goes through 10 hours, and it started at 10 a.m. So we've got 7, 8 hours to go. This is a long game, especially when you gotta figure out where to make it go. Let's start with Tama. I like Tama. Bottles of burning hammer litter the pavement, shattered into tiny bits of glass. Even if the recycling guy was really careless with the boxes, it shouldn't have caused this much of a mess. It looks like somebody came along and actually threw them all over the place. The heck with this thing? Oh. I toss away the miracle stone, which has clearly brought me only bad luck. We can't have a product demo without a product. Which in turn means I won't be getting paid for this whole fiasco. Okay, we can do this. We can figure something out. I try to give myself a pep talk, but I hear the doubt in my own voice. I try to brainstorm anyway. Finding inspiration is like trying to squeeze blood from a stone. I rack my mind for the best course of action, and at long last I arrive at a conclusion. Well, no, somehow or another, we're gonna have to sell Burning Hammer. The flyers have already been handed out. People have come to the demo expecting to get Burning Hammer. I may have to put it into some new bottles, and possibly water it down some, but getting this stuff sold is my only option. My eyes lit on one of the cardboard boxes, and I noticed an odd mark that's stamped on it. Wait a sec. I've seen this before. I recall something Cheery said earlier. This is the sort of thing they'd sell in 100 yen shops or something. The mark on the box is the same one I saw at the shop that's selling the necklace. That's it. I can see if there's some more at the knick-knack shop. Guided by this ray of hope, I head for the knick-knack shop as fast as I can run. Fun fact. A glimmer, a sliver, the ever-dwindling light in the distance. Point is, there's not much. As soon as I reach the main road, I crash right into someone. It's Cheery. Oh hey, you find it, she asks. She makes it sound like it's not really her problem. Not yet, but I think we can stock up at the 100 yen shop. The words are hard to get out when I'm panting as hard as I am. For now, just stay calm and go let the boss know. Got it. Leave it to me. Cheery nods and I break back into a run. I'm practically praying as I rush into the knick-knack shop where I immediately spot the cardboard boxes I saw earlier, still stacked up. Yes, I'm in luck. I dive into one of the boxes to check what's inside. It's packed with tiny bottles. There's no mistaking the noxious red liquid inside. That's Burning Hammer, all right. There's 50 bottles per box, and there are 4 boxes total. Assuming each bottle is 100 yen, including tax, I can buy the whole lot with the 20,000 I've got in my wallet. Mr. Yanagishita said he was selling the bottles at the demo for 15,000 yen a piece. That way, if we sell all 200 bottles, he'll be able to pay back his debts no problem. Whoa, what's the deal with you? The sales clerk's eyes go wide when he sees my getup. This stuff. I'd like your entire stock. I point at the Burning Hammer and the clerk makes an awkward face. I'm afraid that's already been sold. What? You mean, like, all of it? Nobody in their right mind could possibly want all of this. Yes, all of it, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not going to roll over that easily. Whether I earn that extra 20,000 or not hinges on whether I can get this stuff. Please, you've got to help me out. I'm afraid it's out of my hands. Then could you get in touch with the buyer? Tell them I'm willing to negotiate. I suppose that wouldn't be an issue, but... Actually, would you mind waiting for just a moment? She said she'd be by ASAP. After 5 minutes of waiting, the buyer still hadn't shown up. I don't think she's coming, I say. That's odd, the sales clerk murmurs. She said on the phone she'd come by just after 1 o'clock to pick them up. I really need this right away. I understand that, but please, it's out of my hands. By now the sales demo has already started. If I come back empty-handed, what was the point of all this effort? Gimme. I've already said I can't do that. Gimme! Would you please wait a moment? Oh no. Grrr. Why did I spend all that time trying to hand out samples? Why did I put the stupid costume on? Why did I miss out on lunch? Why? What was it all for? Eek! Look over there! It's the Chupacabra! Huh? Yoink! Seizing the moment, I snatch up the boxes of burning hammer and I make a run for it. Hey, hold it right there, miss. The sales clerk is quick to bar my path. Oof. I barrel my way right past him. I bump him harder than intended as I race by. He loses his balance and he goes crashing through the display case at the front of his shop. Wow! At the same time, I hear something else topple over with a thud and a gurgle. Oh no. Oh no. Some sort of liquid begins to gush from a red polyethylene container. Oh! The sales clerk's eyes go wide. He stares fixed on something on the sidewalk nearby. Yeah, it's a cigarette. Uh-huh. Why? The burning butt ignites the liquid in a sudden massive blaze. And now for today's news. Shortly after 1 o'clock this afternoon, there was an explosion at a variety store in the Gawacho in Shibuya, the cause of which remains unknown. Eyewitnesses report seeing an individual wearing a full-body cat costume fleeing the scene in the aftermath of the explosion. Police consider this individual a person of interest and have not ruled out the possibility that this bombing was a terrorist act. Several hours after the incident, the cat remains at large. Fled the country. Tama wound up as the prime suspect in an apparent terrorist bombing. If the buyer had shown up earlier, Tama's argument with the sales clerk might never have happened, to say nothing of the rest. As a matter of fact, the buyer was just outside the shop at the critical moment she was held up, when she happened to run into someone. That someone's actions at 13:05 are the key to changing Tama's fate. Uh-huh. Okay. Well, that happened, apparently. Let's check out here, Norikawa. See what he's up to. Right, left. Minorikawa sprinted down Center Guide, dodging between oncoming pedestrians. Out of my way! Can't you people see I'm in a hurry? He stole a glimpse at his watch as he ran. It was just after 1 o'clock. The Burning Hammer sales demo would be getting underway any moment now. He could probably get an interview even if he showed up late. Still, he wanted to get to the venue ASAP to get a feel for things before they got started. The best time to scope out an event was before it started and after it ended. This was something he'd learned from Toyama. Everything he knew about journalism, the publisher had taught him. It had been a combative education, Minorikawa learning despite himself as the two men constantly butted heads. Oh, give me a break. What's wrong with my article? Minorikawa shouted. His voice was loud enough to carry throughout the editing department. Shut up. I told you to rewrite it, so rewrite it. Toyama sticking to his guns. Minorikawa recalled the scene from the days when the two men had worked at the same newspaper, and Toyama was his boss. Fun fact, boss. At the time, Toyama was the copy editor for the local news, known as the Red Pen Gatekeeper. He would go around checking young reporters' copy like mad. Due to his vigorous efforts, a great many articles never made it to the page. What's wrong with it? Show me what's wrong. All of it. How can it be all of it? Coworkers stared, keeping their distance as the pair screamed themselves red in the face. These arguments had become a regular occurrence, regular enough that everyone had learned not to try to intervene. I poured my heart and soul into this piece. Go back and read it again. I could read it over and over and it'd still be the same thing. A load of self-important claptrap. Now go calm down and write me a more neutral piece. Neutral, taking neither of two opposing sides. The media typically seeks to adopt a neutral stance in reporting the news. Frequently, however, biased reporting still results in one-sided thinking, taking hold amongst the general public. In the end, it is up to the individual to make an objective assessment of any news event. Calm down, you must be joking. I write what I feel in my heart. That's the one thing I refuse to back down on. And it's the one thing that'll keep getting your copy rejected. Aren't you the one who told me to be bold and daring with my writing? Yeah, I did, but I don't remember telling you to write me garbage. By now, Minorikawa and Toyama were practically at each other's throats. Still, despite these almost daily shouting matches, Minorikawa never resented Toyama. Not really. How could he write a piece in a way that would shut Toyama up? Trying to figure that out was how he had developed his skills as a reporter. Up until he quit his position at the newspaper to start his own publishing company, Toyama had been a stubborn old man in the finest sense of the term. Stubborn old man, now a dying breed in Japan, the sort who'd be inclined to use knuckles before words to remedy a child's bad behavior. Inflexible, but still emotionally brittle. Their signature move is to drive a wayward kid out of the house with the exclamation, "You fool, you're no son of mine, I disown you," only to wait a while, go find the son who's crying down by the dry riverbed and calmly murmur, "Come on, your supper is getting cold." This is a very oddly specific example of a stubborn old man. But then, in order to keep his company afloat, at some point he had abandoned all his ideals and principles. It was disgraceful. Just disgraceful. Thinking about it made Minorikawa's blood boil. It rankled him to know that such a pathetic remnant of a man had been such an influence on him. Rankled. Rankled is a good word there. He reminded himself once again that he needed to wrap up his current job as soon as possible. Asian Insect, hey! Thank you for that resub, 3 months. It's good to see you. By now, Minorikawa was getting close to the demo site. He increased his speed. He wound up barreling right into someone who was walking into a knick-knack shop. Fun fact, a knick-knack shop, a newly opened general variety store. The place is primarily a second-hand shop with posters inside proclaiming things like, "We'll take what you don't need," and "We buy computers at top prices." Ah. It was a girl about high school age. She jumped to her feet and then snatched Minorikawa by the collar. "Hey, watch where you're going," she snapped. Her upper body strength was impressive, to say the least. The chokehold she had on his neck made it almost impossible for him to breathe. He had to do something fast. So he can apologize, or he can punch her. Cool. Let's go with the apology. Sorry, he bowed his head in apology. He was in too much of a hurry to get caught up in an argument now. But the girl didn't let go. Instead, she tightened her grip. "Look, I'm sorry for not looking where I was going." Minorikawa could barely croak out his apology. "Oh, fine. I'll let it slide this once," the girl said. She relaxed her hold with a scowl. "Wait, hold on," she murmured. She stared good and hard at Minorikawa's face. "Hey, you're Mr. Minorikawa." Surprised, Minorikawa gave her another look. "Miku? Yeah. Wow, so you do remember me." She smiled with delight, apparently forgetting that she'd just been wringing his neck. "Wow, how long's it been?" she asked. "About 5 years, I think. You still doing your bonsai stuff?" "Nah. I gave that up." Miku had been Japan's bonsai champion back when she was in middle school. Fun fact, the mention of bonsai likely calls to mind elderly hobbyists, but recently the art is attracting more young people, as are other aspects of Japanese-style interior design. Varieties of cherry and maple, smaller than normal bonsai, are becoming popular with practitioners, as are fruit-bearing trees, such as plum-leaf apple. There are even spherical balls of soil covered in moss, shaped to look like cute little miniature planets with plants growing out of their surface. That sounds cool. One day, local delinquents had vandalized dozens of Miku's bonsai pieces. Minorikawa had met her when he interviewed her about the incident. "I want to get strong," she said. "Strong enough to beat those guys up." And so Minorikawa had introduced Miku to an acquaintance of his who ran a martial arts dojo. "Well, you sure gotten strong, all right." "That's the sort of gal I am." Miku handed him a flyer. It read, "Ladies Mixed Martial Arts Pub Bride." A show pub that began as a side venture for a group of female mixed martial arts fighters who were facing financial difficulties. There is an octagonal ring inside a pub, and the rules state that anything goes between the young women who fight inside. Customers are able to take in the fights while enjoying their drinks. Sure. Present this flyer for a free drink. It's a place where you can watch girls fight in the ring while you have drinks. That sounds pretty fun, actually. Minorikawa could feel himself being pulled in all the wrong directions by the prospect. "You should come see one of my matches sometime. I'm the reigning champion." Miku beamed with pride. "Wait, you're the champion?" "Yikes, good thing I apologized when I did. In that case, I'll definitely have to swing by sometime soon. Right now I'm in sort of a hurry, though." "Oh, sure," Miku said. "Catch you later, then." She headed into the shop as Minorikawa rushed off toward the sales demo. At long last, he arrived at the Nokane building, where the event was being held. The wall by the elevator was plastered with posters about Burning Hammer. Get it or regret it. As seen in magazines. 100% weight loss guaranteed. Fun fact, this is blatantly false advertising. The messaging was kind of a mess. It felt like they'd been thrown together at the last minute. Minorikawa avoided the elevator in favor of the stairs, rushing up to the event site on the 3rd floor. Emerging from the stairwell, he saw more posters on the wall pointing the way to the sales demo. He followed the arrows to a room deeper within the building. Opening the door, he saw about 50 chairs, most of them occupied by female attendees. There was a stage set up at the far end of the room, but nobody was on it. It appeared that the event had yet to begin. Minorikawa quickly looked over the crowd. Roughly half of the women were somewhat elderly. All of them looked like they could stand to lose some weight. And for some of them, at least, that ship had surely sailed some time ago. The crowd gazed at the stage with rapt anticipation. A beverage that allowed you to eat plenty and still lose weight was definitely an appetizing proposition. Could something like that really exist, though? Ah well, Minorikawa was just going to have to wait and see. He did his best to get his mind into journalism mode. The time passed, but the demo didn't start. The audience began grumbling in frustration. Then a heavy-set young woman took the stage and gave a little bow. It was the girl from the cafe, the one with the amazing appetite. The audience broke into applause, their patience finally rewarded. But as everyone leaned forward expectantly, the girl on stage began performing magic tricks. Oh no. She twiddled the silk hat and pulled a bunch of flowers from inside it. Sparse applause rose up from the crowd. The young woman immediately went on to perform another trick, and then another. Ta-da! The coin in her hand became 3 coins as she spoke her magic words. She's not very good at this, Minorikawa thought, though whether she was good or bad wasn't really the issue. He had a tight schedule to keep. This was no time to stand around watching silly sleight of hand antics. Scanning the room, he spotted a man who looked like he was probably in charge. Minorikawa headed over to him. "Hey you, the one, you running this thing?" Well, yes. "When's the actual sales demo going to start?" "Soon. Very soon. Yep." "In how many minutes?" "You know, soon. I asked for a number. Just, soon. Real soon." This was getting him nowhere. 3 minutes, Minorikawa declared. He held up 3 fingers to emphasize his point. If this thing doesn't start in 3 minutes, if it doesn't start, then what? Let's go with the over-emotional, heartbroken response. Going to be heartbroken. He kept his expression blank as an empty slate. Hey now, no need for that, sir. Just settle down. Who doesn't like a silly little magic show now and then? You've got 2 minutes. Hey, a minute can't have passed already. 1 minute. Whoa. Just what kind of watch you got there? Tell me why the demo isn't starting. Well, you know, no real reason, really. The man was getting seriously flustered. I just, I wanted folks to get to see a little magic show first. Nope, try again. 30 seconds left. Okay, alright. What happened is, the required merchandise, I'm into the merchandise. He demanded. He gave the guy a dagger stare. Well, it's just, time's up. What? The man's face went pale. Yeah, that makes sense. I think, though, that we can continue on with Tama, though, now, because I think we chose the right option. It's been sold. Wait a moment. Yeah, okay, cool. We did make the right decision. Even as I'm speaking with the sales clerk, a girl wearing a hoodie comes in. She's got a tiny frame and a doe-eyed face. Hey, I've come to pick up something I reserved, she says. This must be the customer the clerk was talking about. Please, pardon my intrusion, but would you be willing to let me have these diet drinks? I bow extra deep and my costume head wobbles all around. Wait, what? I'll pay you double what they're worth. No can do. I've never seen this brand before. I'm super curious about it. Surely you don't need this many, though. I do. I make my living with my body. This is about how much I'll need. Oh wow, the sales clerk interjects. What sort of work do you do exactly? I'm a martial artist. I fight at a place called Bride. You might have heard of it. It's one of the more popular hotspots in Shibuya these days. Oh, I know the place, the sales clerk says, brimming with sudden excitement. That pub where they have cosplay martial arts competitions, right? Hold on, what are we talking about now? What's Bride? I've seriously never heard of this place. It's a nightlife spot where ladies cosplay as anime characters, but they fight for real. I've been wanting to check it out, but they've hit their membership cap, the sales clerk explains. At present, the exclusive Bride has already exceeded its allotted number of members, and is not accepting new ones. Given the buzz about how both the costumes and the fights are really something to see, memberships that are auctioned off online command quite high prices. So then, you must be pretty strong, huh? He says to the girl. Well, I mean, I may not look it, but I'm the current champion. The girl proudly adopts the fighting stance. Would you accept a challenge from me, I ask? A challenge? If I win, you have to let me have all of this. The girl breaks into a confident smile. Do you have any idea who you're dealing with here? She asks. I intend to find out. Oh wow, the sales clerk exclaims. I have just got to see this. I'm glad to have him egging us on. Well, if you're that set on it, then sure, I accept your challenge. Sweet. We've established our terms. This burning hammer may yet be mine. The girl cracks her knuckles, clearly eager for a fight. I've got to win this. Somehow or another, I have got to. I mean, I've got to be good at something. Facing off against this fighter is going to show me what I'm made of. I address my opponent, and by challenge, I naturally mean... rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors? The girl goes slack-jawed in surprise. Yeah. And if I win, you have to let me have those diet drinks. Rock, paper, scissors. Sure, whatever. Okay, I accept. Here we go. I ready my fist. 1, 2, 3, shoot! I've lost. We're doing our best out of 3, right? What? I lose again. And I even tried to change it up by throwing paper twice in a row. So yeah, we're doing first to 3, right? Huh? Yet again I lose. My reverse psychology has backfired. Okay. Now that we've done warming up, wanna do this for real? Sure? Shoot! 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 Uh-huh. Alright, so rock, paper, scissors is not the thing we should go with. This goes on for a good 30 minutes. We've thrown more times than I can even count, and I haven't won once. Reverse psychology. Reverse psychology. Even reverse psychology. She sees through me every time. I'm terrible at this. Beyond terrible. How? How can someone be this bad at rock, paper, scissors? I want to keep going until I win at least once, but the girl is clearly pretty fed up. This sucks. But I've reached my limit. Time's up. Right around now, there's someone else who's been told that his time is up, and he's in quite a predicament. Yes. A ruthless ultimatum was issued by none other than this man. Well, thanks for humoring me for so long. Guess those drinks are all yours. I shuffle off, my shoulders slumped in dismay. On shaky legs, I make my way back to the Nokane building. I'm half tempted to just abandon the whole burning hammer disaster, but I know I'd feel guilty afterwards. Besides, after all the effort I put into this, I'd at least like to get paid something. I'm back, I call out casually as I open the door. When I see what's inside, I feel like I've been smacked in the head with a mallet. The demo room is completely totaled. Torn flyers are scattered all around. Most of the chairs have been knocked over. Someone obviously trashed the place. Who the heck did this? I had thought I was alone, but when I spot someone lying in the corner. Some guy I don't recognize. Erg. The man groans pitifully. What's going on, I ask. What happened here? I go over to the guy and shake him gently by one shoulder. Has death come for me at last, then? His voice is a mere murmur. If you're here to finish me off, then you're welcome to try. But only if you beat me in a challenge, fair and square. Huh? I'm not sure what he's on about, but my competitive streak is too strong to let me ignore what I just heard. Sure. A challenge, you say? That's right. I challenge you. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors? Rock, paper, scissors. Again. If you beat me, then I am yours to do with as you please. Uh-huh. All the vexation I felt earlier when I lost to the girl in the knick-knack shop stirs within me again. I feel like a kettle boiling over. At this point, I don't even care who my opponent is. I need to slay the nagging disappointment inside me. Alright then, accept your challenge. I hold out my fist. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Shoot! I throw paper. And the man throws scissors. I've lost. I guess I really am just no good at rock, paper, scissors. Or maybe I should say I'm really good at losing at it. I had thought my earlier loss must have been some weird fluke, but apparently it wasn't after all. Rochambeau. Thanks to her epic rock, paper, scissors losing streak, Tama wasn't able to get any burning hammer. Maybe that was to be expected. Seeing as she only ever throws paper, she'd probably do better in some other form of challenge. Alright, let's play a rhyming game. Let's see how well this goes. Huh? She seems a bit put off by the suggestion. Yeah, and if I win, you have to let me have all of these. A rhyming game? Really? Okay then, really. Silly. Okay, then, listen. Listen? I'm a martial artist. Artist? Oh, that's a tough one. Aha, smartest. Oh, this is probably that. Oh, that's a really hard thing to translate if this is what I think it is. There's a game I see them play in anime every so often where it's like you say a word and the next word that you say has to start with the last syllable of the last word, and yeah, it does not translate very well. Glow. No, what am I saying is I'm a fighter. Okay, fighter shouldn't be too hard. I can do this. Just have to not panic. Let's see, writer. Aha! Okay. Scissors. What do you mean scissors? No! Wait, what the heck is going on? Crap, nothing rhymes with scissors. That's an illegal move. I drop into a fighting stance. Okay then, shall we fight? The girl grins back at me. Now you're talking. The name's Miku, by the way. Challenge accepted. Miku and I march out of the shop. Out on the pavement, we stare each other down. So if you win, I'll let you buy the burning hammer, Miku says. But if I win, I get to keep it, and you have to pay for it. What? Isn't that a little unfair? If you don't like it, then it's no fight, no deal. I don't have the time to rethink this. Alright. Ready whenever you are. Miku does a little brisk shadow boxing, throwing a repeated 1-2 combination. Fun fact, it's a training technique for boxing. It involves practicing strikes, guards, and evasions against an opponent who isn't actually there. Whoa, what's the deal? Something going on? It's a street fight! A number of people pass by, including a businessman, a couple, as well as some pretty gruff-looking fellows, and some of them stop to form a small crowd. Couple. Achi and Hitomi, they pass by while running away. So that's a jump we'll need for later. And the gruff-looking fellows, Asao Ozu and his underling Yutaro Segawa, members of the Tenryogumi Yakuza Syndicate. The Tenryogumi operates a lending firm called Takarada Financing, and these two have been tasked with collecting outstanding debts. They've already collected from one client today. Next, they plan on grabbing lunch before heading off to find their next target. Sales demo has already started by now. I don't have time to goof around here. I watch as Miku starts up her footwork. Left jab. She's quick. I can see why she's the champion. She immediately follows up the jab with a wide right hook. A type of punch involves swinging the arm in a wide arc to strike the opponent from the side. In mixed martial arts bouts, it is common to see a fighter continue the momentum from a hook to catch the opponent by the arm, transitioning immediately into a takedown and pin. I jerk aside at the last possible moment and deliver a little swat to Miku's shoulder. Whoa! She slips off balance and pitches forward. Oh wow, what was that? The crowd has started clamoring. Miku rights herself and gets back into a fighting stance. What the? How? She doesn't seem to know what just happened. Rarg! This time I watch as she unleashes a kick with her left leg from a distance. On reflex, I bring up my right hand and adopt a guarding stance. Gotcha, she calls out. It was a feint. There's a visceral whomp as the second kick connects, coming at me from a different angle. Whoa, what gives? My big mascot head serves to cushion the blow to the point that I barely feel it. Hiya! She proceeds to unleash a string of additional kicks with her left leg, trying to defeat my fuzzy armor. Eventually, I catch hold of her foot, holding her off balance. I begin to walk her backward, making her hop awkwardly on one leg. Gwah! A casual flip of my paw and Miko goes whirling through the air. Whoa! Ooh! Ah! The crowd erupts into cheering and applause at the spectacle. Phew! You're tough. Who the heck are you? As you can see, I am a cat. A wry smile comes to Miku's face. To think a bride competitor would lose in a street fight. Guess it's time to go back to being an ordinary girl. Alright. Today is the day I retire. Ah, phew. Good match there. Miku clasps my hand firmly. But hey, I'm just glad that my last opponent was you. This weird end friendship moment. I hoist up the boxes of the diet drink. So, how much does this come to? I ask the sales clerk. He shakes his head. Oh, don't worry about payment. You've more than earned it with that spectacular display just now. That was really something. Heck, even I am shocked at what just happened. It's amazing what a little desperation will do for you. So, that movie you used, that was some Akijujutsu, yeah? A traditional Japanese martial art that emphasizes learning to anticipate an opponent's first move, and instantaneously counterattack. Skilled practitioners can toss and throw opponents with a simple touch. The art predates the development of the more pacifistic Aikido, and so some dangerous techniques still remain. Huh? Oh, I guess? I tilt my head non-committedly. Come now, no need to be so humble. I'm a martial arts fanatic. I know my moves when I see 'em. Knick-Knack shop owner Taisei Yasuda watches roughly 350 martial arts fights a year. He is particularly fond of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and is thinking about studying it himself. There's a dojo he's been eyeing, but he's rather timid and has thus far only waffled non-committedly outside the entrance to the place. Alright. He can call it whatever he wants if he's letting me have the drinks for free. This is going to be a lifesaver. Is that all the shopping you'll be doing with us today, he asks. Actually, come to think of it, I do have one request, I say. Sure thing. Could you please not sell that necklace there? I promise I'll be back to buy it later. Sure, no problem. The sales clerk gives a deep bow. I did it! I managed to solve my burning hammer problem. Now I've just got to get back to the sales demo. Oh, that must be awfully heavy. Here, why don't you use that dolly? The sales clerk indicates the hand truck over in the corner. Oh, thanks so much. I load the pile of boxes onto the cart and rush back to the Nokane building. By now the sales demo will be well underway. I need to get back as soon as I can. If there's nothing to buy, the customers are going to leave, and everything I've gone through will have been for nothing. Come on, Tama, you can do it. Just gotta hurry. I charge for the demo, pushing the dolly ahead of me like a battering ram. Ah, oops. Sorry to keep you waiting. You're late. What the heck have you been doing? Mr. Yanagishita practically throws himself at me. The weight must have been killing him. Standing behind him is a man I don't recognize. It's a jump we'll need later. Who is that guy? He doesn't look like a customer. Okay, Tama, just come with me for a minute. I follow Mr. Yanagishita into the break room. Sorry I'm late. There was a whole bunch of stuff that happened. But look, I got the product back. I probably opened one of the cardboard boxes. Ah, it's burning hammer. It really, really is. Yanagishita clutches the box close, nuzzling it with his cheek. How's the demo going, I ask. I've got Cheery keeping them occupied with some magic tricks. I sneak a peek through the door and see Cheery guzzling orange juice from a gigantic container, draining it all in one go. Is that really a magic trick? If it buys us time, it's magic enough. Before long, the last of the juice is gone. Over in the corner of the stage, I see 6 more huge containers, all likewise empty. It's shocking to think that she may have drunk all 7 of those things dry. The audience erupts into sincere applause, like they've forgotten what they originally came here for. Okay. Cheery comes back to the break room, positively drenched in sweat. Oh, I think I should have stuck to doing imitations for a little longer. No, that was fantastic, Cheery, Mr. Yanagishita says. Just fantastic. Thanks to you, we had enough time to get the burning hammer back. He bows profusely. Alright, now it's time for the main event. Cheery, go out there and guzzle down some burning hammer. Get yourself all drenched in sweat. Got it? Aye aye, boss. And Tama, just go up there, smile all big, and say, this helped me lose a bunch of weight too. Got it? Got it. Now. Good. Now then. Yanagishita gestures to a man I hadn't noticed before who's been waiting quietly nearby. Of course, begging your pardon, miss, it's a service rep from the rental shop, who proceeds to try to get me out of my mascot suit. Masamichi Fukuma, employee of Far East Costume Rentals, the only son of company president Shigemichi Fukuma. He is one of the few people who know what Shigemuchi looks like, as his father is usually clad in a rabbit costume. Masamichi has harbored a strong dislike for both his father and mascot costumes ever since the old man showed up at school on Parents' Day one year, dressed in his inevitable rabbit suit. Nonetheless, the son has acquiesced to his father's wishes, and someday he'll inherit the family business. Oh, that's odd. The rental guy tilts his head. What's the matter? Yanagishita asks nervously. Ah, yeah. This is a no-go. The rental guy pokes his finger at the back of my suit. This here zipper? It's all jammed up. It's gonna take a long time to get this thing off. What the hell? Mr. Yanagishita clutches the sides of his head. The rental guy tries tugging at the costume from various angles, hoping to free up the zipper, but like he said, it's no use. The rental guy's eyes widen at the sudden sound of a cat's mewling. Was that you? He looks at me confused. Did you hear a cat meowing? Yes. Was it you? No, not me. I'm as surprised as he is. Must be hearing things. Mr. Yanagishita and Cheery don't seem to have heard anything. Bah! Yanagishita is fuming. Just my luck. I finally find a cute model and the crowd's never going to see her. Hey boss, Cheery says. Customers are going to leave if you keep them waiting much longer. What do we do? Want me to go out there and do some more impressions? Chiriko's repertoire of impressions. A sea lion, yawning. A harbor seal, hailing a cab. A walrus, reading sutras. A fur seal, who can't reach the itchy spot on its back. And a stellar sea lion, taking a nap. A lot of seals and sea lions. No, we don't have any choice. Tama, you're just gonna have to go up there dressed like that. Are you sure, I ask? If those people go home, we're done for, he exclaims. Just get out there and get started. I'm counting on you. Ladies, terribly sorry to have kept you waiting. Cheery and I spring into action on stage. But now I'm proud to introduce you to the worldwide sensation that is Burning Hammer, the latest product from the West that has been taking the diet world by storm. Every seat in the house is packed. That means there's about 40 people here. We only need to sell 5 bottles to each customer in order to sell out. I'm hit with a sudden jolt of motivation. Allow us to explain just how this revolutionary new diet drink works its magic, Cheery begins. The plan is for me to describe how the drink works, and then Cheery will demonstrate it with a taste test. All eyes are fixed on us. I begin. For the first time in human history, you can drink a single bottle and lose a whole kilogram. Just drink, and drink, and burn that excess weight away. Astonished gasps rise up from the crowd. Just take a look at this marvelous red liquid. Even looking at it makes you feel like you'll be shedding weight, right? Here's how burning hammer works. It activates the capsaicin found in chili peppers, the primary spice component of chili peppers, said to be effective for improving blood flow and stimulating the burning of fat. Because it is a severe skin and eye irritant, it is also an ingredient in some forms of pepper spray for personal defense. Fun. I paused to take a deep breath before continuing. And, rapidly breaks down the triglycerides responsible for causing obesity. Though the term is frequently used in recent years to simply refer to the state of being overweight, obesity in the clinical sense is a medical condition involving interrelated health issues, including excess body fat, hyperlipidemia, and hyperglycemia. Individuals suffering from obesity are at high risk of complications such as coronary heart disease, diabetes, and sleep apnea. Again, the crowd hums with excitement. This response is better than I could have hoped. We're off to a terrific start. And now this young lady here will demonstrate Burning Hammer's effects before your very eyes. Cheery steps into the spotlight. Just wait till you see how much she sweats. Proof that the fat is being burned right there on the spot. Cheery holds a bottle of Burning Hammer up high. Cheers, she says, as she opens the bottle. However, one of the women in the front row speaks up. Hold on. She's already sweating pretty hard. She's right. Cheery's drenched in sweat from head to toe. Another woman chimes in suspicious. Alla, that juice drinking from earlier, that was all just to make her sweat like that, weren't it? All of a sudden the crowd is in an uproar. No, not at all. Drinking Burning Hammer makes you sweat way more than this. I rushed to towel off Cheery's sweat for her. Go on, hurry up, drink it down. Cheery's face screws up unpleasantly as she gulps down the bottle. And the sweat doesn't come. God, why isn't it working? I exclaim, the audience momentarily forgotten. Guess I've already sweated out too much, Cheery replies unfazed. Well, why were you sweating so much? Look, you were taking forever at the 100-yen shop. The crowd shifts from uproar into riot. Did she just say 100-yen shop? Scowling customers begin to close in. No, that's not it. You've got it all wrong. Please just listen. Oh, we can see what's going on here. The situation has gotten out of control. Look, this product is so valuable that a 100-yen shop is about the only way we could get it. Uh-oh. I think I just put my foot in it. Customers glare at me, their eyes bright with rage. Let's try and say it was a joke. Kidding, that was just a joke. Just gotta play this off smooth. I mean, seriously, there's no way you'd find something this high quality in a 100-yen shop. Ha 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 ha. Sweat is streaming down my brow. Really now, says one woman in the crowd. How about we find out? She takes out her cell phone. I know someone who runs one of those stores. Wait, let's not be hasty now. Why, what's wrong? Oh, it's just... You don't need to go out of your way like that. You said you were joking, didn't you? Shouldn't matter if I make that call, right? Well... Cough. I slip into a nervous coughing fit. I'm absolutely sweating bullets inside my cat suit now. Tama, shouts Mr. Yanagi. She does. He rushes out of the break room. What the heck are you doing? Abort, he howls. If you let these people know the truth about this stuff, they'll never buy it. Uh-oh. Now you've done it. Cheery doesn't hesitate to point the finger at him, her stare ferocious. Oops. Realizing that he just blurted out, Mr. Yanagishita is aghast. Now there really is no saving this. The customers descend upon Mr. Yanagishita, their wrath a terror to behold. So then it is true! What the hell are you trying to pull? I can't believe you'd try to sell this crap for these prices. This Rog goes on the attack. Cheery and I force our way through the angry mob, hoping to find some way to calm these people down. Cursing and profanity fill the air. The shouts are accompanied by merciless, open-handed slaps. I I get all jostled and tumbled about, and my mascot costume takes a bad beating. Finally, the storm passes. It's over. It's all over. Mr. Yanagishita wails to the empty room. So, boss, about getting paid. Even Chiri seems hesitant to ask. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, obviously. Yanagishita doesn't so much as look up, his shoulders slump further in defeat. I'll take payment in kind then, Chiri says. Mind if I take this birding hammer home with me? Sure, Yanagishita says lifelessly. Go right ahead. Alright, I'll be off then. Later, Tama. Chiri picks up the cardboard boxes and heads out. Sir? It's the man from the rental place. I believe you still owe me for the costume rentals? Oh, right. How much was it again? Mr. Yanagishita rummages in his pockets. Well, given the severe damage, I'm afraid I have to add the full cost of the cat suit to your bill. Your total comes to 200,000 yen. Was it? 200 yen? No, sir. 200,000. Sorry, I can't hear at all. I think I might have ruptured my eardrum. 200,000 yen, sir. Oh, okay. Yanagishita takes all the cash he has in his wallet and holds it out reluctantly. That's only 20,000, sir. The rental guy furrows his brow. I'm afraid this won't cover it. I understand that. But I don't got no more than this. Don't got no more. Sir, please, you're not a child. Then give me a discount. Make it 20,000. Instead of the 200 you owe? You know I can't do that, sir. But Mr. Yanagishita refuses to back down. Ah, that's right. Insurance. I got insurance in the event that the suit wound up damaged. No, you didn't. No, I did. You did not, sir. No, I did. Then where's your paperwork to prove it? Yanagishita calmly claps a hand to his chest. Right here. The paperwork is here. Inside my heart. The rental guy clutches the sides of his head in exasperation. And believe me, I feel his pain. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to leave this to my boss. Shigemichi Fukuma, president and owner of Far East Costume Rentals. Notable for the fact that he's usually wearing his favorite rabbit costume. To Shigemichi, his costumes are like his children. If he were to hear that one of his suits had been ruined, he would probably never forgive Yanagishita, adding to the man's already considerable list of enemies. Turning his back on the ruins of the sales demo, he slumps his way out of the room. Now it's just me and Mr. Yanagishita. Please, try not to let it get you down so much, sir, I say as cheerfully as I can muster. He's already down on the floor, a sobbing mess. You wouldn't know what it's like to feel so utterly hopeless. I think I might have an idea, sir. In fact, I'm sure of it. At this point, there's nothing more I can possibly do. He slumps forward, trembling like a willow tree. Things will turn around soon enough, I'm sure. You don't know me like I know me, he says. There's not going to be any turnaround. Not after this. Okay, now this little pity party is starting to piss me off. You know, if you think you're the only person who's had a run of bad luck, you were dead wrong. I wind up shouting the words louder than I intended. Mr. Yanagishita whips his head back up. Yikes, where'd that come from? I need to tell you something. My pent-up emotions come surging to the surface. I have amnesia. Yanagishita's eyes go wide. What? I can't remember anything from before this morning. In short, amnesia. Amnesia can have a variety of causes. Psychogenic amnesia is caused by stress or psychological trauma, whereas in endogenous amnesia, a powerful blow to the head causes physical trauma to the brain. In the later case, memories and other normal functions frequently return once the cranial nerves recover. Sure. My name, how old I am, where I live, any of it. I would much rather be in your shoes, sir. Mr. Yanagishita looks at me with a hint of disbelief. So where'd you get the name Tama, then? I thought of it when I saw the tamagoyaki in those lunchboxes. Aha! Tamagoyaki. Tama. I get it. He claps himself on the thighs as if he's had some big eureka moment. But wait, how come you lost your memories? Well, I don't know for certain, obviously. I don't remember. But I'm pretty sure I took a hard blow to the head. When I came to, I was inside of a storehouse with a massive headache. Storehouse? So this is probably Maria. A surge of vertigo washes through me as I recall waking up in that strange, dim place. Yeah, I had just gotten out of there when you flagged me down, sir. Huh, really? So it's pretty unnerving then, not knowing who you are? He sounds like he's taking me seriously now. Yeah, sure is. But it's not going to do me any good to just fret over it. And besides, I've got a clue. What sort of clue? There's a necklace I saw at a knick-knack shop, the same place I found the burning hammer. Somehow, I know that it's important to me. Ah, instead of just I must have that thing. And so you took this job so you could afford to buy it? I nod. Of course, now that the job has ended in a total bust, I've lost my shot at getting it. Okay then, Mr. Yanagishita removes his shoe, then yanks out the insole. This here really is the last of my money. He pulls out 20,000 yen, adds it to the other 20,000 from his wallet, and thrusts it all toward me. Here you go, he says. That includes the reimbursement for the burning hammer you picked up. I pluck up 2 of the 10,000 yen bills between my fingers. I actually didn't have to pay for it, so the 20,000 we agreed upon is fine. But how about you, sir? Are you going to be okay? After all this, compared to your misfortunes, mine are nothing. This might send me up the creek without a paddle, but I'll bounce back somehow, I'm sure of it. And then, clutching his fist, Mr. Yanagishita gets a far-off look in his eye. And then one more time, I'm going to go see a bride fight. My jaw nearly drops. Bride? Like the martial arts pub? Wait, you know about Bride? Man, I've spent so much money at that place. Wow, it is a small world. Especially that Miku. I wonder how much she has made me spend. Miku, huh? I'm pretty sure I just accidentally forced her into retirement, but I decided to keep quiet on that front. He nods. To be honest, the reason I borrowed all that money was to pay my tabs at that place. I had to borrow from some pretty shady sources too. Can't help but suspect that this poor guy got a real raw deal. Why don't you take that mascot costume with you? Huh? I mean, I don't really need it. No, I insist. Take it with my blessing. Sure. I'll be on my way then. Out in the hallway, I pass by the man I'd noticed earlier, the one I didn't recognize. Jump point. Odd, the sales demo's over. I wonder why he's still here. I gave him a faint nod, and he nods back before slipping into the demo room. I should keep my fingers crossed for the guy. At last I'm back outside the building. I feel bad about not returning the cat suit to the man from the rental place. Still, I can't just walk around town wearing this thing. I'll stick out like a sore thumb. I figure it's best to just leave it behind. And then it dawns on me. Hold on, I still can't get this thing off. I want us to take it off, but I feel like that's also just going to be a bad thing, potentially? Ah, whatever, let's take it off. Skin this cat. The exact origin of this phrase, "there's more than one way to skin a cat," is uncertain, and a matter of some dispute, though it appears to have arisen in the later portion of the 19th century. It's hard to imagine why anyone would want to conjure up such a gruesome mental image. I need to get rid of this costume, whatever it takes. I take hold of the head in my hands and I yank it upward as hard as I can. Oh ho! Please tell me I'm not just imagining things. The head feels a whole lot looser than it did before. If I give it a good enough push, then maybe. It also, because I mean, it probably is Maria, explains why all of her chapters are in first-person perspective, whereas every other one has been in third. Rag! It comes off. I did it. I slip out of the rest of the cat costume and gleefully abandon it as I head for the knick-knack shop. Ooh, keep out. Alright. We're gonna stop there. Seems like a good place to stop. Whew. Still lots to do in the game. We'll be playing it again on Friday, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Let's see. Oh, Jordan's on. Okay. We're gonna raid Jordan. He's playing Kingdom Hearts. Here I thought we'd get back to that end. Yeah, maybe. I feel like we're definitely moving forward in Tama's line. But yeah, next stream 5 p.m. Pacific time on Friday. We'll be playing more of this game, and then Sunday morning we'll be playing more of the longest 5 minutes. Then I think the schedule's roughly going to stay stable until next week. There's a few days I won't be able to stream because I'm going to be out of town. And then it's a little wonky after that as well for the rest of January. But I'll post about that in the Discord and we'll figure it out. Until then, I'm going to take us to the going offline screen and we'll go say hi to Jordan, who's streaming one of the Kingdom Hearts games. Alright, I'm gonna head off. You'll take care. See you later.